How many grocery stores do you own? How many banks do we own? How many apartment complexes? How many schools? See, some of you may have individuals you know. They may own, this dude owns this, they own, no. We, as a collective, how many transportation systems do we own? How many farms do we own to grow our own food? See, when you start listening to these words that put you in a mind state of survival,
libation is the most important thing that we do as African people when we get together. Not just when we come here on Thursday nights. We have to start infusing this practice as we get into this. And whenever we get together for birthdays, for cookout, baby showers, weddings, because we would not be here if it was not for our ancestors. And everything we know and everything we think we know, we learn it from someone else. And they learn it from someone else. And so all the righteous information and knowledge in the world, we want to give thanks and rise up that spirit and energy on a spiritual level from our ancestors. And so we call our ancestors forth, and we leave the door open symbolically so their spirit will come in, put us in the right frame of mind to receive the information, have the right energy to receive the information, and then also to connect to our ancestors so we can go back and do research and learn about them and learn about who we are. We have been told as African people, everybody else tells us who we are, but that's not who we are. So the only way to find out who you are is finding out for yourself. And the best way to find that out is finding it out through your ancestors. All the great and all the good that they've done in the world. And so we pour water on a plant that symbolizes the circle of life. Because when we pour water on this plant, the plant gives one of the nutrients that it needs, and it gives off oxygen, and we breathe. And then we expel CO2, and that's another element that it does. So we keep the circle of life going. And when we remember our ancestors, we keep that circle of life going also. Because without their knowledge that we're standing on, then we would be nowhere. And it's my personal opinion, the reason why that we haven't really did a lot of the gains that we could be doing, it is because that we haven't remembered the footsteps of our ancestors. So the African Restoration Project is really about restoring us back to the best of our ancestors so we can move forward in today. And so as we pour this water, we use the West African word Ashe, and Ashe means divine power right here, right now. And so we start off by thanking those first two ancestors that stood on the mount of Lake Tanganyika. And the male and female were created one and the same at the same time. And so for them being created and standing in their office as man and woman, we thank them, we say Ashe. Ashe. And then those two populated the whole world. But more importantly, when they came together, they created civilizations. They created mathematics. They created science. And they created how to connect to one another and how to understand the universe. So at our zenith, we have Kemet. And Kemet is where the world stands on for all knowledge, for political, science, medicine, and everything. Those were our ancestors. So we want to thank all those ancestors. What we stand on in Kemet, we say Ashe.
Ashe. What is Kemet for those who don't know?
Kemet is what we now call Egypt. So we had some Greek invaders that came in, usurped the country, and changed the name for their benefit. But Kemet means the black land, black people. Okay? So as we move forward, and as our ancestors populated, they walked out of Africa. and they walked in every place in Africa. And they took that knowledge and spirituality with them. And so for the other civilizations of Mali, Songhay, we give thanks to those ancestors for developing those civilizations that we say Ashe.
Thank you, Nana.
And as we keep moving forward to the present day and present time, there was a time where we had our Ma'afa, and Ma'afa means a dark, perilous time. And we had the transatlantic slave trade, we had the Indian slave trade, where we were all being enslaved by other people other than ourselves. And so we had our ancestors that threw themselves over the side of the ship so they wouldn't bring any children into this world. So for their sacrifice, we say Ashe.
Ashe.
And because our ancestors stayed on that ship for that ride, we thank them, because if not, we wouldn't be here today. So we thank those ancestors for their sacrifice. We say Ashe.
Ashe.
And so as we get closer, and now we're having people stand on the back of those ancestors. We have people like Hubert Harrison. Remember that name, write it down. He's the reason why we have study groups. Study groups have been in existence for 110 years. And he's the father of study groups. We have people like Marcus Garvey. We have Reverend John Long and Claude McKay. And we thank those ancestors and we say Ashe.
Ashe.
And then our ancestors of Malcolm X and Fannie Lou Hamer, Martin Luther King, and so many more, standing on the shoulders of those ancestors, so we say Ashe.
Ashe.
And so we're really doing this for, our present and our children. And so we want to thank our grandparents and our parents, our aunts and uncles, who paved the way for us, who shared their knowledge and their inspiration and their wisdom. And so for all of our ancestors, collective ancestors, no matter who they are, the good ones and the bad ones, because we learn from the bad ones as well, we say Ashe.
Ashe.
And we're meeting here tonight so we can edify ourselves and grow, but then we're also doing it for our children and the unborn children, so they would have more knowledge on how to navigate the world in which we know today. So we say Ashe for our children,
Ashe.
for their children,
Ashe.
and their children,
Ashe.
and their children.
Ashe.
And lastly, I give pour libation for Kwesi Osafo. Kwesi Osafo was one of the co-founders of the study group 31 years ago. He was my Jegna. Jegna is also our African word for mentor. And I thank Kwesi Osafo because through his hard work, him raising me up and his education of me, and also Justin, that the study group still exists. And so we want to keep it going. So for Kwesi Osafo, we say Ashe.
Ashe.
Thank you.
Everybody looking black and chocolate and just, all different types of pecan butters and all that type of stuff. So thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. So this is one of the regular programs that we do every week. So I'm glad everybody came out for Brother Rizza Islam. The information Brother Rizza Islam is going to share is going to be to empower you, right? So when Rizza Islam leaves, feel free to come back and utilize some of that knowledge right here within this study group, right here within the African Restoration Project. At some point as a people, we have to get over the idol worship or the savior complex, right? Brother Rizza Islam will share the information in his intelligence and his knowledge, but it's ultimately to wake you up, right? So, my name is Justin Bradley. I'm one of the co-facilitators here. I'm gonna pass it around to all the facilitators so they can introduce themselves.
How's everybody doing?
Yeah.
I'm Marquise, I'm one of the other facilitators. Like Justin just said, we're here every Thursday at 7:30. It's great to see the room packed and see we have the salon packed. But understand that our people have a lot of problems, and we have a lot going on in the streets. So like he said, it's good that y'all came out to see Rizza tonight, but we need y'all here every Thursday with us to build, to come up with the solutions that we need to help our people who aren't here, who don't want to be here, who don't want this type of information. Because the gang violence is real, the prostitution is real, the drugs are real, the incarceration is real, the unemployment rates are real. And when we come here every Thursday, we come up with solutions. We don't just come to talk. We come up with solutions that we can implement into the streets and help our people who need it the most. So please, I ask, if y'all made it tonight, please be back next Thursday. If you can't make it next Thursday, come back the Thursday after that. We need as many beautiful minds as we can get together so we can build and really make progress that we need for us as a people.
White women are looked at as success. In America, we see a white woman, I couldn't have you. My daddy couldn't have you. My granddaddy couldn't have you. I would get killed even looking at you. So now, if I play for the NBA, I want them all.
So you're telling me, the black woman who has been there for us the whole damn time, when we were getting lynched, when we were getting whipped, who was there for us to heal our wounds. If you can give up on a black woman so easily, you don't deserve no other one, because you have demonstrated that you can't give enough love to the number one who needs it the most, because she has been destroyed the most, rejected the most. She is the number one divorced, last married, most mistreated, and you telling me that because now you have money, now I'm free to go mess with the same white woman who helped to keep me in slavery. Selfish black brothers, selfish, who want to come together with a white woman as an individual as though she is the epitome of greatness, she's the most beautiful, she has the best hair, she has the best everything. No, I think I'd take some brown sugar over some white cancer-causing sugar anyway.
I can't have both.
Y'all can clap, you can clap. This is so beautiful. This is beautiful. You need to give yourselves another round of applause. My name is Brother Rizza Islam. I am all of those things, but above all, I'm simply your brother. Soldier under Farrakhan, who is my teacher and my guide and my leader. I thank all of you for being here tonight, and we are going to go over a number of things, but before we do, let me greet you in the greeting words of peace, of Assalamu Alaikum, Hotep, peace, Islam, Black Power.
Black power.
We got too many greetings. I gotta hit them all. Somebody like, you didn't give me mine. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit them all. But seriously. So I do appreciate you all for coming out tonight, family, because the topic we are going to go over is very difficult, very heavy, but as he said earlier, we're not talking only. Is that okay? Yes. We're not talking only. After tonight, there will be action. And I know many of us love to hear the talk, and the talk is good. Matter of fact, we got some of the best talkers in the game. We got talkers. Okay, we got a whole lot of them. But we're going to talk and then go into implementing action. And is that okay with you? Yes. Because we are not about simply going to talking, but we have to put things into activity. So I'm going to go into something here. Number one, thank you for all the groups that have been doing what you have been doing up until this day. And I mean all of our groups, within and without the conscious community. Everything from the Black Panthers to our Moorish Science Temple brothers and sisters, to the Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters, to our Rastafari Nation brothers and sisters, the Nuwabian brothers and sisters, all together, every single group. There are so many of us who wear different garments, but we're all one family. Is that right? Y'all better get loose tonight, because we're going to go into it. So I hope you get warm now, because once I start dropping these bombs, you're going to pick them up, and we're going to go outside and drop them on everybody else. Is that okay with you? We're going to start moving furniture right now. So y'all can understand just how deep we're about to get. Now, first thing, how many of you have heard of the conscious community?
I've heard of it.
Heard of it? Sounds nice. Conscious community. Okay. We have dropped the ball. Okay? And we're going to be very humble tonight. When I say we, I'm referring to every single one of us who say that we do anything that helps the people. Okay? We have to be very humble, we have to be honest, and we have to look at ourselves first, because this condition now falls on us. We cannot sit here and keep pointing at all of our ancestors who are no longer here. as though they are. People quote Malcolm, and I'm going to say this up front. I'm a member of the Nation of Islam, the same Nation of Islam that Brother Malcolm was a member of. Many people hear and many people talk, but I can tell you right now, the majority of what you hear is not true. But if you believe that we're true or not true, the point is, what the hell are you doing to change the conditions under which we live? See, we're going to be real humble tonight, because people talk and we look like a damn joke to those who don't help the community. Did you hear me? Yeah. We look like a joke. I'm saying all of us, we wear our bow ties and we got our hair wrapped and we got all the different things. The whatever you want to, we got it all. Right. We real stylish looking. We got all the style. We smelling good. I got some Dragon's Blood body oil right now. Real nice. Right? But when we go out into the world, we look like a joke to a lot of people. They call us the talkers. People, y'all talking. RBG, yeah, y'all ain't gonna do nothing about the police, though. Right? Let me know if you've heard these things. And don't get mad at your brother. Well, get mad at me. I don't care. Because right now, we need to wake up. And I'm only saying this because today we're talking about the state of Black America, the condition of Black America, where we are currently and what steps we must take toward our liberation. Is that right? Right. It's not going to be easy hearing it from your brother. I know some of y'all used to me talking on Instagram, talking real fast, 30 miles an hour, and I really do talk that fast. It's actually, I don't speed videos up, just in case. I don't speed the video up. No, I don't. I really do talk like that. But that's something new. I've been in the community for about 20 years. Social media is new for me. Okay? That's why people watch it and they're like, oh man, yeah, that's dope. But they don't understand. Okay, that's cool. But the majority of my work is in the street. A lot of people are on social media trying to become famous and then try to become influential after becoming famous on social media. No. It's the other way around. You got to get your elbows dirty in this. You have to go into the dirtiest areas. Be around your people who you don't like looking at. The stinky ones, the different hoods, different gangs, different conscious organizations. All the people you say you love so damn much, but you don't want to be around them. Am I making sense so far?
Yes, sir.
It's quiet because I'm hitting home right now. I must be hitting some nerves because, we get a little comfortable talking. And I'm saying this again, mind you, I keep saying we, I'm including myself now. Don't get too mad at brother. But I'm including myself here. So we have a lot going on in the conscious community, but there are other people progressing faster, even though we got all the knowledge. We got it all. We know where the white man came from, when he came from there, everything. White man this, white man that. Caucasian, Caucasus, this. Okay, cool. We know who the original people are. We got different names. We go to Asiatic, we go to, we say Nubian, we say Nubian, we say Kushites. We go to all this. Beautiful wording, beautiful terms, and beautiful things. But people who don't know themselves are progressing faster than we are. I'm going to say that again. People who do not know themselves are progressing faster than we are. People who don't have a 19th of the knowledge that we have are progressing faster. Some of you may think, well, brother, the system of white supremacy ain't you right. Well, brother, they had, a couple years head start with the economics and all that. They came from the country with 10 grand per person, 100 grand, they got and you're right. Well, brother, they're not under the black codes, brother, we still under the black codes, we're still slaves, brother. And you are absolutely right. But what is the difference? If you can promote how much knowledge you got, look y'all like, hold on, brother. If you can promote how much knowledge you have, how much knowledge you've gained, what level you have attained, and all the stuff you have acquired, and I'm this and I'm that, you should also be able to promote how many businesses you started, how many jobs you've given to your people that need it, how many people you got off drugs, how many sisters you got off the street. All the knowledge you got is cool, but it has a limit to it. Knowledge is nothing without application. So you keep talking while the dude who got half a brain cell over there is having businesses and real estate and a whole bunch of stuff, but we're going to keep talking about him. We got all the knowledge. See, these people here, they were doers. Am I right? Mm-hmm. They didn't just talk. Sister, that looks like Angela Davis. Mm-hmm. It's
either Angela or... wait, hold on.
beautiful sister.
it might be-
who's still alive today.
It might be Kathleen Cleaver. I don't know.
I was here.
It might be Kathleen or Angela. One of the two. I don't know.
They look like them. Okay, there was both panels. All right, we got it. Whichever sister. If it's let's say it's Angela. All right, Angela. Sister Angela.
Zoom in on that one.
Angela Davis is still living today. How many of you have met her? You know she's in California, right? Santa Cruz, yeah. You can go see her. Anybody did? Oh, man, y'all don't even want to drive up. Okay. Just we being real, right? You don't mind if we get real tonight? We just gonna get real. All right. You can loosen up. It's okay. I know it's the Nation of Islam, so some of y'all already got certain ideas. I'm gonna pull them out. Oh, I know. Thank you. You can hold that and leave it over there, but let's focus on getting things done. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't alive back then. I'm 28 years young. Don't hold me like I won't hold you to anything that happened to any of our ancestors back then. That's what the white man does to us. He got you so stuck on your own brother and sister. You hate each other so much. And he can just mosey right on by and snatch your land, take everything you got. Why? Because you're stuck on stuff that he told you. And you believe it. Am I making sense? Mm-hmm. I know y'all like, damn, brother, get to the facts. You do the facts. Okay, we're talking facts right now. But I have to say that only because we're going to go into it. I got a lot of stuff to say. And a lot of facts to cover, and a lot of things that you need to know, and some things you will know, and others you will not. The conscious community has to unite now. Okay, now when I say this, I'm going to say this one more time. If you do not want to unite, don't ever say you love black people again. You can clap, you can snap, you can whatever you're going to say. But be loud about that part. Just as loud as we are to divide one another, we need to be louder when it comes to uniting one another. A white man can say whatever he said about his cousin Jasper and all them, but when it comes to business, oh, they together. The Jewish groups, Jewish organizations, yeah, they may have infighting, right? Little family squabbles inside. You don't see it though. Am I right? Right. You don't see that. No, they keep that behind closed doors. Why? Because they know if we show them our division, they will have power over us by adding to our division, then they will take us over. That's what they do to us. They give you a name, give you a different group. All the names are amazing. They're all great. I named most of them. They're all great. All the groups, we're all beautiful. But we're not united. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and yes, I'm going to quote the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, so get used to it. And I'm going to quote everybody else too. He said that our unity, say our unity, is more powerful than a hydrogen or an atomic bomb. Now, why did he say that? Because when you see black people on code, what does that mean? It means I don't give a damn what this brother say. I don't care what this sister does. That's my brother, and that is my sister. Am I being too hard? No. We in shades of Afrika. I'm saying we have to understand. I know it's 2019. You know we comfortable now. We can hang out with white folks. You can get burgers. Hey, go to the movie with that. We in Long Beach. Go down Pine. Get on the Ferris wheel with us. Right? I know. My brother Rizza be a little softer on a man. I go to school with him. I'm not talking about white folks like that. I'm letting you know whose world you're in right now. They're comfortable. They're not nervous in their own world. We are, right? Some of us. Some of y'all like, nah, brother. Okay. We're gonna get to the brother. No, we're gonna get to them brothers and the sisters right now. So if you're on code, that means yes, this brother did something bad. This sister did something bad. Not all of us. Why is it that one black-owned business does something wrong and we blame all of them? I hate all I'm not see. That's why I'm spending my. That's why that. You go down the street to the same Louisiana fried chicken to the same Asian who I don't know who taught them how to fry chicken, but they frying chicken. They burn the tip of a wing. You don't say nothing about it. Black person does it. You flip out. You see this little piece right here you burn, see? That's why I don't like black-owned business. I'm going to tell all y'all. Matter of fact, I'm recording you. Yep, all this. Oh, yeah, you got the honor. You a lion. You lying. I'm going to give y'all a B and a C. We go there. But as soon as you go to a Chinese food place, they can spit in your face. And all you do is ask them for some hot sauce. See, it's crazy. Y'all know that. Hey, listen. Don't look at me like I'm crazy, because some of y'all here are like, no, brother, we woke. We's conscious, brother. Reason. I know some don't get it. Look, hey, you gonna all right? Y'all like, okay, brother. Okay, this is what I mean. Consciousness dictates a certain level of activity. If you're conscious, that means you're doing something. It doesn't simply mean you are aware. We can be aware all day. Oh yes, I know. There are paintings here, there's lights here. Yes, the government is aware and conscious. They don't sleep. They have the CIA day staff, night staff. They work 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 and 1/4 days. They always are on code with one another. They know what's going on. They actually are the real conscious community. Don't get mad at me. Hold up. Look at y'all. I'm going to take this back to the group. Take it to them. Because as long as we are disunited, divided, and not together, we will never be taken seriously. It don't matter how much we wear, what we say. We will not be taken seriously. Case and point. This is actually a good point. I'll just skip to this really quick since we're right here. Brother Mumia Jamal. They recently found 6 boxes of lost files in a storage room in Philadelphia pertaining to his case from 1981, 1982 when he murdered supposedly this officer. And they sentenced him to death. They found these 6 boxes, found 6 boxes of lost files pertaining to the case in Philadelphia, and he has now been granted the ability to appeal to be released. Y'all wanna, come on, everyone. Hey, I don't know if you knew that. Raise your hand if you knew that. You didn't know that? Okay, we got one brother who knew that. What is the danger behind this? Angela Davis is still alive. She works for one of the schools. Brother Mumia is still alive. Brother Farrakhan, regardless of what you feel personally, is still alive. What am I saying? Some of us are uncompromising. Some. Many of us right now have a price. I'm going to say this only because when we're looking at the state that we're in, we have to be real about it or else we will never get past it. Most brothers and sisters today would rather be prostitutes for posts. Oh, let me say that again. Let me say it one time. Most brothers and sisters today would rather be a prostitute for a post on social media than stand up for your people and protect the woman who you see is being troubled and terrorized by a man right in front of you. You'd rather focus on a post and get these likes. You want to be a loose lad or lass for some likes, or be a concubine for comments. Okay. Prostitute, concubine, side piece, side hoe. You're gonna get raw tonight. Is that okay?
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah. We black folks, come on. I mean, we got some food after. You know, you probably black folks food after. They gonna be all right. We cool. Feed them. And the reason why I'm saying this is because your brother's on social media. Yes, I'm on social media. But I don't give a damn about losing this. Because I'm relevant in the street. When you do the work, the people uplift you when you do this. But when you all on this all day, okay, you are on the enemy's system and mainframe. Social media was created by the government to spy on the people. They did not create it so that you can see your cousin over in Wisconsin. They did not create Facebook so that you can talk with people in Nigeria. That's not why they made social media. It was created as a spying system and mechanism that you would willingly accept. Didn't you download it to your phone? Didn't you accept the conditions? You ever read the terms and conditions in this damn thing? You ever read it? Raise your hand if you read it. 1.5, 3.5 people. How many people there?
56.
Okay. And most of us ain't read the terms and conditions dealing with social media. Okay, let me tell you some of these terms. Number one, if you posting anything dealing with guns, drugs, paraphernalia, whatsoever, the court system can and does use your posts in court cases. Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah.
Because it is public evidence. It is public. You have involved the government in your life. The moment you post, that's why they use, by the way, they spend the majority of their money on psychologists in the CIA. So they use a question which lowers your barrier, your protective mental barrier of consciousness. They use a question like this. What's on your mind? You ever read that on Facebook, or do you just be posting? Keisha said. What's on your mind? That is a very invading question. Who would ask you what's on your mind? Therapist. Who said it? Brother from the barber shop said it. A therapist. Okay. Don't therapists do things behind closed doors, and they're supposed to help you with your problems behind closed doors where no one else can see it? Things that if you were to expose it out in public, you'd be embarrassed or you'd feel terrible. Or if the police caught wind of it, you'd really go to jail. But it is confidential. But you expose it willingly every day. Think about this. Y'all, I gotta delete my Facebook. I gotta delete it. We're going over the state of Black America. And I know y'all like, okay, brother, you're going, oh no, we're getting there. Okay, I have to warm up to certain topics, because once I start talking about certain government agendas, vaccines, certain drugs, certain things, you're gonna be like, all right, bro, I gotta go. Getting too hot. I gotta work in the morning. I'll choose one of these, though, brother. Okay. Because I feel some of y'all like, man, we're gonna get there. So, Facebook is owned by the CIA. How many of you knew that? Owned by the CIA. You sure that's factual, Rizza? Okay, here's the next point. Mark Zuckerberg met with some of the executive staff of the CIA, Central Intelligence Agency. They collect data regarding the United States from people within it and people outside of it whom they deem to be a potential threat. So, Mark Zuckerberg, estimated net worth of, I believe, over $59 billion. Doesn't get paid a dime from Facebook, supposedly. I believe he said he gets paid $1. I found that cute. It come from a Jewish person. But the word Zuckerberg means sugar mountain. And he's sitting on a lot of it. And Instagram is owned by Facebook. So they're together. Now, Mark Zuckerberg is proposing to have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat all put into one system. Okay. You're like, okay, what's the point? How many of you have Snapchat? Mm-hmm. Facebook? Mm-hmm. Instagram? Mm-hmm. Twitter? Mm-hmm. We are all behind enemy lines right now. In your phone, you have the government in your house every day. How many of you have a smartphone? Oh, they did us dirty with that one. Oh, get a smartphone. Why? Because it gains more intelligence from what you put in it, not from what is already there. It gains knowledge by what you say to it, through it, and put on it. It's a smartphone. Since when does technology have intelligence? See, let's understand where this is going. Black America, number one, we spend more money on alcohol, drugs, pornography. We spend more money on all of these things than we spend on books. You see, we in shades of Africa right now. See, so I got thrills in here, you know what I'm saying? They buy a new book every week, huh? Don't get mad. Just saying. The government knows what we do. They know what we say. They monitor us. You have individuals who are Caucasian who got tired of it and they decided to, put out the whistle and blow the whistle on this. You have someone by the name of Edward Snowden. Raise your hand if you've heard of him. Edward Snowden. See, we call him one of those good Caucasians. Good job. Right? Look at y'all like, for real? No, seriously, okay, yeah. Thank you. Good job, right? He helped a lot of people with what he did. I can respect a white man who tells the truth about other white people. I respect that. Thank you. Good job. Okay, and I respect a white person who's honest. Just straight up. Like Trump. We love Trump. You know why? He honest. I don't like you. I don't like you. You're a rapist. No, you aren't. Sorry, it's okay. You're a rapist. You're all dumb. You're stupid. Negroes. Thank you for being honest with all of us. Now we can get something done. Government was shut down. Over 30 days, black people suffered real hard. Why? How many grocery stores do you own? How many banks do we own? How many apartment complexes? How many schools? See, some of you may have individuals you know. They may, oh, this dude owns this, they own, no. We, as a collective, how many transportation systems do we own? How many farms do we own to grow our own food? See, when you start listening to these words that put you in a mind state of survival, now that the government shut down for a minute, and he opened it up just for the Super Bowl, Valentine's Day, All-Star, NBA All-Star Weekend, the Grammys, and I believe one more, not the Oscars, right? The Oscars. Man. All in Black History Month from the barbershop. Come on, man. Very intelligent. Why? Because according to their statistics, the United States government is currently in $27.1 trillion of debt. But if you add in Medicare, Medicaid, etc., all the debts to all the other countries, it's a little over $60 trillion in debt. China owes over $1 trillion. Japan over $1 trillion. That's why they keep talking so much mess about them. All these governments, they owe money too. So what is one way for the government to have a boom in its economic situation? Super Bowl, they charge $5 million for a 30-second ad.
Wow.
Did you hear what I just said? They had plenty of them from what I heard, because I didn't watch it. Look, y'all thought y'all caught me. You said you didn't watch Super Bowl. Damn right I didn't watch the Super Bowl. 30 seconds, $5 million. They make more money Valentine's Day. Only time white folks love chocolate. Hey man, and look, I never heard white people talk so good about chocolate, man, until Valentine's Day, and they be running chocolate everywhere. Oh my God, you're so black and chocolatey. I'm like, hey, excuse me, Tom, I don't swing that way. Bye. Okay. We don't do that. But it's real. NBA All-Stars. I have some of the brothers I know, who are there present at the games. And they told me that they get paid to be present at the NBA All-Stars. Some of them are coming to Savior's Day in Chicago. They're leaving the All-Stars to come to Savior's Day. Our current condition as of right now, being in the conscious community, requires that we actually come together. And when I say this, I mean farms, I mean schools. Nation of Islam, we have farms. We have independent schools. We import fish from outside of the country. Did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, hold on. Now listen to this. Wait. Can y'all have access to that fish? Can y'all have access to that organic, the beans, navy beans? Can y'all have access to that orange juice? Can you have access to all that? Can you?
Yes, sir.
No, think with me. Because I now want to see how much you love and know your own brothers and sisters. What do you think? You think we'd have all of this and not share it with you? Not exchange it with you? No. Let's be real. Because now we're going to pull it today. It's 2019 and some of us still got some personal crap going on with whoever. But I can't blame all the Hebrew Israelites for what one individual has done. I will not blame the entire Moor Science Temple for the actions of one brother. I will not blame the whole because of the negative actions of one. We have to get over that. Yes, you have access to the fish that we bring. Yes, you have access to the beans and the rice and all of these things we bring in. Yes, you have access to the orange juice and the bread that we make. Sisters teach you how to do this on Saturdays, sisters. Brothers teach you this on Monday nights. Brothers, you do not have to join the ranks. Did you know this?
No.
Why? You don't reach out. We reach out. That's not it. We all you see us on the corner every day. Don't be playing like you don't see us on the corner. You making fun about the bean pie. You like how they taste though.
Right.
They get real with it. You snap on that. You love how they taste. You pull back, you pull. I thank you, brother. Slay, Slama. Hey, we getting real today. We getting real. But you know I'm telling the truth. You see us with the newspapers. What do you think we do with the money from these newspapers? #1 largest black independent newspaper on the planet. We use that money to stimulate our own economy. Listen, this is why we have to come together. You understand that this system don't give a damn about you, right? We know that, right? Raise your hand if you agree, like, yeah, they don't really, like Michael Jackson, they don't really care about us. Okay. If you really understand that, and I'm not saying all white people, because I know some of y'all are like, well, I have a friend. She wanted to come tonight. She found out that you were with the Nation of Islam. Afrikan said some unnice things a couple days ago. I can't go right. I'm like, oh, y'all know it's true. Y'all know it's true. Just certain things like, okay, come on, man. We come together with our family. We have nothing against anybody, but we as black people have to be like this. Together, we have to actually establish this because the government already knows who is who. They know who's real, they know who's not, and they know exactly who they have to look out for when they decide to come down these streets, which they are right now doing army drills in downtown Los Angeles. Raise your hand if you've seen that.
Right.
They are doing drills. Okay, very strategic drills going down certain streets to see how many seconds per second they can get down the street, how many buildings they can shut down electricity, how quick they can cut it off, boom, boom, boom. They're very strategic. But how many of you are ready for a disaster if it happens? How many of you have health insurance? How many of you have at least a passport? I'm going out the country. Yeah, right. I got mine. Seriously, right? Because Trump is shaking it up, making it happen. Preparedness. You must be prepared. You must have a level of militancy. Once again, a lot of people quote Malcolm, but Malcolm, you couldn't roll with Malcolm if he was alive today. Let's just get this straight. Let's just let me say it. Let me say it from a brother who has the same training that Malcolm has. Okay. Who has an X. My name is Brother Rizza Islam with an X. You do know Malcolm is not the only one with an X, right?
Right.
How many of you knew that? Yeah, that's standard procedure. I'm not taking nothing away from the brother, but I want us to understand the mindset. Malcolm wouldn't roll with a lot of the so-called conscious community members today. That would not happen. He'd look at and he'd just walk away. He wouldn't even vibe with you because he was a doer. His teacher taught him that way, regardless of what you agree with or don't agree with. But today, the preparedness factor has to be there. You have to know how to get out of your, not just house, your neighborhood. They know where to shut the streets down. They have the blueprint. They know where the main electrical circuitry is in the city to shut down electricity for the entire city. They know what to do. They know the main water supply. If they wanted to poison, 50,000 people, they just go to the main water valve supply, open up, boop, boop, put the liquid in, boop, boop, close it up. They did it during the Holocaust. They've done it in different ghettos in the neighborhood. They do this right now. Flint, Michigan is one out of over 13 cities with the same problem. And I know y'all like, damn, brother, I'm hearing all these problems and no solutions. The solutions is after. But you gotta know what you're dealing with right now so that you don't leave here and just be so damn comfortable and fall right back to sleep on Instagram or on Facebook. Is that okay? I'm still on point right now. I'm I'm not losing the target here. All of our elders had specific things that they did, but the point is that they did things. They didn't just talk. Every single elder, every scholar who we like to talk about and we quote every day, we quote them so much, they were doers. They had actions behind their words. Is that right?
Right.
Angela Davis went to court. Did she win? Did she win?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, she defended herself, right?
Yes.
Okay. Tupac's mom. What was her name? Sister Afeni, right? She went to court while she was pregnant with Brother Pop. Did you know that?
Yeah.
She was a Panther. Defended herself, defended them. Did they win?
Yes.
Did they win?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Let me think here. So far, what I'm looking at now is they are now, as of August in 2017, and this is coming for y'all now, this is coming for each and every one of us. Because that's cool, that's back then, all right? This is now. Some of y'all like, man, they're not going to do that stuff no more, man, it's a different time, whatever, blah, blah, okay. Have you ever heard of the term black identity extremist? You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
FBI, August of 2017, said that black people who are prideful, who love themselves and love their community, people who are willing to fight back against the police, who are willing to stand up for themselves and not back down and not bow down, are seen as a threat and are extremists. They don't say nothing about the over 71% of hate groups being Caucasian males carrying guns who have promoted the idea that, damn, you can step on my territory, boy, I'll pump him, he's full of lead. They don't call them extremists. They really don't. But when we stand up and say, listen, hey, yo, you're not going to touch this black woman. Oh, I'm an extremist now. Because I'm supposed to allow you to do what you've been doing since you brought me here. Let me say this for those of us, our ancestors who were brought, because there were some of us here prior to that as well. But a large chunk of us was brought over here, and we were not allowed to say anything. As a matter of fact, if the man came up to our house and said, bring that girl out here, if I was the husband, I'd have to go in the house, bring my wife if that's what he wanted, or bring my daughter if that's what he wanted, and I'd have to stay outside on the porch and allow him to have sex with my wife or my daughter.
Or son.
Or son. Thank you. I'm going to that point.
Yeah.
Thank you for jumping ahead, brother. Oh, we gonna cut deep into that. Woo, this white man going crazy. Crazier. That is what they're doing today, and now they are calling us, those of us who have a level of manhood, who still have, as the Honorable Minister Farrakhan will say, our testicular fortitude.
Right.
Okay, it means we got our nuts. Pardon me, Sister Elders, I know I'm gotta be straight. It means we have testicles and we have courage and we are not going to bow down. Is that right?
Yeah.
Those are the ones who they saying, these are BIEs. These are black identity extremists and we must watch them and come after them. They have even gone so far as to say now in the American Psychiatric Association that those men who are masculine, y'all know where I'm going. Y'all know where I'm going. Those who are masculine, those who have pride and have testosterone and they stand up straight, some again, chest out, and they love their woman and they're demanding. We got power and we speak with bass in our voice. They're toxic. So they have toxic masculinity. What the hell? Let me explain something. We have allowed the system to name us for a very long time. Right? Shine, hand bone, color boy, Negro, nigger. All these words. African American. Didn't come out to the late 1970s. But now you're saying that we're toxic as men because we want to be men. Who came up with the term toxic masculinity? Does anybody know? Unless you were with me earlier.
Maybe feminism.
Feminists?
Damn, feminists! Look, it was them! Okay. They doing everything! They cut the lights off! Feminists ain't did it all, y'all. But I will say the people who did coin this term are feminine. Two Caucasian white males coined or made up the term toxic masculinity. One of them is named Shepherd Bliss, who's a homosexual. Very interesting, right? So I'm a homosexual male named Shepherd Bliss, and another one, and we're going to come up with a term that attacks the masculinity of men. Call it toxic masculinity. So that way, we can push it through the American Psychiatric Association, classify it as a mental disorder. Now, and any man who wants to be a man who's not feminine, who you know, is okay with being a natural man, doesn't mean I hate you for being homosexual. You do you. Just can't do me. Alright? I'll take that with a grain of salt. Alright, so I'm going. Hey, okay. You can do you, man. Over there, and I don't mind being myself. We can respect one another. Alright? I won't force myself on you. Don't force yourself, your lifestyle on me. We can, you know, do our own thing. I don't agree with that lifestyle. Nature doesn't either. However, I love my people. And we have to help our people. You understand? Yeah. And we have to have a level of love that is above our ego, that is above our personal wants and what we feel is that, because a lot of our people have been taken over by the system. So they don't know, and a lot of us have been through pain, and so it pushes us to the same gender. I'm not making excuses, I'm explaining the situation. A lot of mothers been through it, a lot of fathers been through it. So we have a condition happening in our community that is running rampant, and we need to take care of it. We need to handle it, cultivate it, and bring people back into the knowledge of themselves. Does that make sense? Okay, we got to do it with a level of love. Tough love, though. You know what I'm saying? Okay, come on, let's do this, brother. We need you, sister, we need you. Come on. All right, even if we're not going to go down the same road. My point is this. That toxic masculinity term is not just a term now. They are pushing it all the way through. As I said, they are practicing drills in downtown LA right now. U.S. Army. They have, of course, FEMA camps ready to go. I'm not going too deep into this piece, but I have to just paint this picture. FEMA is Federal Emergency Management Agency camp. Walmart contracted with FEMA a number of years ago. You have someone by the name of Alcee Hastings, who was a political official in Florida. And he helped to contract and push, I believe it was DH 681. I believe was the bill, where they were pushing to have FEMA camps be inside of Walmarts in the case of emergencies. This is a very real thing, okay? So if you have all of these things that the government is pushing to do, getting ready to do, planning to do, what is the number one thing they must do to guarantee that it will be successful? Anyone in here ever read The Art of War? Ever heard of The Art of War? You must destroy the protection in the community. Meaning you have to come after the man. Is that right? Sisters know how to protect themselves too, so we don't take nothing from the sisters. All right? However, you shouldn't have to protect yourself. You have to do that only when it is necessary. But you are far more, you're worth far more, sisters, than we are as men individually. I'm saying this so that we can understand. We are taught in the Nation of Islam that the woman is 3 times more important than a man. Why? Because if a police officer shoots me, he took one individual. But if he takes you out, he took an entire nation. And we cannot have that. So that is why, sisters, although you are strong, fierce, you know, you got some of them 1-2s. Woo! Sisters, I know with the staff and the nuns, y'all, some of y'all are like real deadly, and brothers, you need to be careful. Do not. All right. You get it, like, brother, just, you know, if you slide in DM, slide right back out. I appreciate you. Leave it alone. Because a lot of women ain't playing today, and rightfully so. But brothers, we have to increase our discipline as well. My point is, they should not have to be forced to defend themselves unless it is absolutely necessary. Sisters, do you agree? Yeah. Because you are too important. And I'm saying this to you. You're too important. Literally too important, because they're trying to lessen our numbers, and I'm going to go into another point. But the government has to come in and destroy the man. They're doing it through vaccines. They're doing it through psychotropic drugs with these fictitious labels. They're doing it, we in shades of Afrika, right? Yeah. They're doing it through medical marijuana. I done pissed some of y'all off like this. They like, get him out. I love you, bro. So I'm like, but I'm being very serious. I had a meeting with one of the advisors to drug policy, or for drug policy, to the United Nations. 4 years ago. Caucasian. He told me exactly what the government was about to do with legalizing marijuana. He told me the whole thing. He literally went over a PowerPoint and described every single thing. He described who's funding it. He described exactly where it's going. The tobacco industry is losing money. They're pumping out money with all of these lawsuits. So what can they do? Well, hell, let's find a way to get the people something that they will willingly accept because they've been using it for thousands of years and they won't question it. Weed, Indian hemp, Kush, cannabis. Some of y'all like, there's a difference. Hey, damn it, you get what I'm saying. They found a way, again, to infiltrate our community, and we accepted it. I'm telling you, man, and it's so damn slick how they do it. It's so, Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, you cannot fathom the depths of Satan. Meaning your mind, our minds are not even equipped to go that low. We can't understand such evil. They were losing so much money in the tobacco industry. They were having so many lawsuits, so many damn people coming up with cancer, so many people coming up with all these abnormalities, all this stuff to where they said, we need an alternative. We got to do something to get this money going, so they started switching their investments into medical marijuana, right? First they were investing in lobbyists to help and pay politicians to push the legalization of marijuana. Okay? One of the individuals behind this is George Soros. Ever heard of him?
Yeah.
Hungarian philanthropist. He is one of the funders of Black Lives Matter. Young Turks. Oh yeah. I have to say these things, and I know, and I still with our sister Dr. Melina Abdullah today, over in LA, and they dropped all the charges on her. Black Lives Matter. Beautiful. Once again, even if we don't agree on everything, that's our sister. You understand? And they were trying to hit her with 8 criminal misdemeanor charges for protesting police brutality. You're going to arrest me for protesting you, for killing me and my people? I can't say no, stop. I can't say that. Crazy, right? You need to let me kill you and just shut up and take. It's like that's a slave master right there. That's a slave. Just gonna tell you. So George Soros is funding, or he was at least the initial funder behind it. He's also the person who helped to break the Bank of England. Real wicked man. He's funding that. The guy over Tommy Hilfiger was one of the funders of the legalization of marijuana, Prop 64 in California, and then all throughout the country. He has 3 medical marijuana laboratories, big ones, pumping out tons of it throughout the country. If you think that what you got is the natural, that sticky icky for real, like your cousin grew it in the back. I know, I know my connect, bro. All right, bro, I hear you, but I know my connect. Okay, I hear you, brother. 1930s, the government went throughout the entire country to make sure any form of marijuana was confiscated, destroyed, etc. White folks called it cannabis, Mexicans called it marijuana, black folks called it marijuana. Yes? Basic facts, basic facts. They were using it in the military. They were smoking it years ago. 50, 60, 70, 80, right? And even before that, but I'm saying in America, they found a way to utilize that as a painkiller. This is back then when they were using steroids with the military. They were using ecstasy with the military. It was called MDMA. They were using crystal meth with the military. They were using LSD with the military to keep them awake longer, to take away their appetite so that they could fight the enemy longer. Yes? Okay. Weed was another one. But now they said this will be most advantageous for us. Legalize marijuana, people won't question it, push it into the community. But what do? Put certain chemicals in it. Now y'all know when you get something that's real strong, all you want to know is who got this and where can I get some more? Y'all can laugh, man. Come on, hey, I'm confident. Come on, barbershop, talk to me. Stay like them, and you're like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. You could be an agent. If you don't work for the police, maybe. Right? That's just, no. Hey, I used to smoke between the age of 8 and 9.
Damn.
1 whole year. But you surprised?
You was, wait, brother,
8, 9? Oh, that's too.
you was smoking at 8?
8. Look, hey, mama wasn't home. Medical marijuana, they have looked at, it will make far more money than tobacco ever did. It's already in the billions. You got celebrities endorsing it because of their damn lack of knowledge. You think this government is going to legalize something for you that is supposed to naturally cure a disease that they make money off of managing? Did you hear what I just said? This plant is supposed to cure. Cannabis oil, which is actually the very good part of this plant. It is the medicinal side of it. It is the good part. Yes, it kills cancer cells. Absolutely. No doubt. However, if that's the case, and the pharmaceutical industry is making hundreds of billions, damn near trillions of dollars off of managing a sickness, why would I allow you to legalize a plant that is going to cure the sickness that I am making billions and hundreds of billions of dollars off of managing? No sense. That is a conflict of interest financially. So if you think this government's going to give you something to cure your asthma and them pumps, them steroids, they make lots of money off of it. You think so? You think to cure your glaucoma, y'all be lying when y'all take that test. It's an E. It's a bird. A bee? I swear, I be mad. Some of my people, they know, man. When I worked with the drug program, and I had people coming there with the craziest stories. Man, I saw a bird, brother. It was like, it had to be. I walked up and it was a cube. I'm like, okay, bro, you needed it that bad. So they give it to you, and it's crazy. Right here in Compton, they wanted to build so many medical marijuana dispensaries in Compton. So many, but they stopped it. Compton. Talking about the Crips, right?
Yeah.
Where did the Crips start? Compton, right? From Oakland. Brothers came down from Oakland, some in Inglewood, Compton, Watts. Government never wants to have a resurrection of the people. They don't want this. They do not want those strong masculine men, strong feminine women, united together on the same page and got the same plan with the same goals, and they all include liberating and separating from this system, establishing their own businesses, their own farms, their own banks, their own everything. No, we ain't with that. We made a lot of money off of y'all spending money with us. Okay, so how about we do this? We're going to give you something that you like. We'll give you weed. Okay? But I'm going to tell you that it has atrazine in it. Okay. Now here come the facts. Make sure you write it down. Make sure you record it. Whatever you're going to do, because your brother is not going to sit here and give you anything unless it is factual. Is that okay?
Right.
Chemical called atrazine. Atrazine. A-T-R-A-Z-I-N-E. Atrazine. Pesticide, herbicide, chemical that is definitely in the medical marijuana. Also, it was found by a professor by the name of Tyrone B. Hayes, University of Berkeley, I believe, right in California. And he was studying frogs and the lifestyle of the frog and how the water, y'all heard about this, right? He found this chemical, atrazine, which is just one. There are more than one, but this is one of them. And he saw what it was doing to the frogs. And when they were going outside to get some of the tadpoles and everything, they took samples of the water, brought it back to the laboratory. He's a biologist. They were testing it, and it had high levels of atrazine, and he was seeing what atrazine does. Frogs that were male, their genitalia, their phallus, their penis was dissolving and inverting or going inward and changing into a vaginal opening.
Oh.
Male frogs were becoming female. You hear what I'm saying? This is one chemical that they have put in here. Now some of y'all are like, man, I got like a fifth in the car right now. How does he know? I'm the hood too, man. Like, what y'all be thinking? I think you go in the nation with just be feminine. What y'all be thinking? Like, come on. Whatever you got in the car, whatever, do you think? I know you like this. All right, I saw him on faces. He was like, let's start this for you. One chemical is atrazine. Another chemical is paraquat. Paraquat. P-A-R-A. Q-U-A-T. Paraquat. Now these things were brought out by Dr. Wesley Muhammad. How many of y'all watch Brother Dr. Wesley? One of our strong brothers. Scholar over 25 years, undefeated. He brought all this information out in videos, lectures, and in his book, Understanding the Assault on the Black Man, Black Manhood, and Black Masculinity. He wrote this book, I think, over 1.5 years, 2 years ago. And all of a sudden they come out, toxic masculinity, this. Tell me. So the chemical paraquat, another weed killer. No pun intended. That was corny as hell. Paraquat, atrazine, these two chemicals are present. Once again, the government is finding ways to come after the security of the nation, to come after the protection, right? To weaken you. Okay. Medical marijuana in no way is going to help. I'll just let you know this right now. The cannabis oil is good. That is used for many ailments, many problems with the body. Cancer cells, etc. That is good. Okay? Because I want y'all to, these are solutions. That is okay. Make sure you know where you're getting it from, but that's the medicinal side. Smoking it releases what is called phenols. And some of y'all are herbologists, weedologists. I done studied every strain, brother. I know it. Okay.
From the barber shop.
How much money got in pocket? $5? Right. Did y'all get that point? Yes. Man, we're gonna be, see the weed, that conversation gets tough. I ain't laughing at you. That plant in its natural state was amazing. And I say was because in America they made sure to decimate. Because they couldn't have you curing yourself. This is why naturopathic doctors have been coming up missing over the last 3 years. See, I'm going to say this because my mother is a naturopathic doctor, and she's leading the country too. They have been coming after naturopathic doctors, herbalists, all of these different alternative health practitioners because they have to destroy the masculine energy before they come in to do what it is that they really want to do. So the smoking of the weed, that's one point. I'm going to leave it there. I ain't going to go too hard on y'all about the weed. Finish what you got. I'm going to go into this one. Vaccines, really quick. Healthy People 2020, policy coming out in less than 10 months, where they push to have 90% of this country vaccinated. Say it again. I didn't say they're going to ask you. They ain't asking you a damn thing. They're doing it right now. You want to go to school in California? You got a little child want to go to school? Raise your hand if you have children. Okay, some of the mothers and fathers, some of you know about this already. Some of you have already run into this. Little children, middle school. You want to enroll them in middle school. Did they get their shots? Now remember, at a certain point you could just say, no, they didn't get their shots. No, that's okay. And they'll be cool with that, right? That was against my belief. We're natural. And that was cool, right? It used to be like that in the 90s, early 2000s. Cool. Now, if they don't have their shots, they can't come to this school, sorry. All right, I'm just going to put them in a private school. You know, I got a little money, maybe I can invest a little bit, you know, take some more hours at work, boom, boom. Private school. Hey, all right, did they get their shots? That's where it is right now. I'm telling y'all, boy, this enemy is so goddamn wicked, man. I'm doing my best to hold back on a lot of things, but I have a number of things to say, and I just want you to stay with you, brother, because you have to know, okay? You need to know every way that they're coming at us with this. We are being targeted above everybody else. Just know that, all right? Private school, same thing. Daycare. Daycare. You think they're going to miss daycare? Nah. Daycare, hey, how much, you know, 150 a week, 600 a month, whatever. Cool. Did they get their shots? You a daycare. You're not a school, like you a daycare. Yeah, but you know, some new thing, like, you know, did you get the shot? No, they didn't. Oh, I'm sorry, they can't come here. This is going on right now in California, in Mississippi, in West Virginia, and it is being pushed throughout more states as we are speaking. A bill passed by the name of SB 277, Senate Bill 277, write it down. Senate Bill 277 here in California, 2016 or 2017. I believe it was 2016. Myself, Minister Tony Muhammad, who was the Western Regional Minister of the Nation of Islam, Brian Hooker, who was the scientist who had the phone call with the senior lead scientist over the vaccine division at the Center for Disease Control, where they put together the science for these vaccines and then send them across the world. This white man by the name of Dr. William Thompson admitted, he said, quote, he said this in 2014 regarding 2004. He said, if we would have admitted this information at least 10 years earlier, we could have prevented, say prevented, at least 100,000 black boys from having autism. Let me say this to you again. White man, Center for Disease Control, admitted that they chemically murdered over 100,000 black boys in 10 years through the MMR vaccine, measles, mumps, rubella, as one of them. Why? Because a chemical called thimerosal, aka mercury. Some of you say, well, you have mercury in fish, 2 different types of mercury. That chemical attacks melanin, and it attacks the males more than the females. Testosterone enhances the negative effect. Estrogen protects the women from the effects. What are they doing? See, I'm gonna hit you hard with this so you can get it through your damn. They ain't letting up on nothing. They become very conniving, very smooth about it. Enjoy your ice cream and your movies. Enjoy hanging out with everybody. Oh, you can go to school, we can chill, everything cool. Go to parties, and everything is cool. Enjoy your social media, enjoy it. But we are killing you slowly but surely. We ain't never loved you, and we don't love you now. What the hell you thought this was? This is a nation of us, by us, for us. I'm not saying all white people, however, according to the United States Census Bureau, by the year 2042, this will be a majority brown country. Why? Because white women's wombs are not holding babies up until 9.5 months full birth period. They can't hold it. So they have fertility clinics in their neighborhoods and abortion clinics in ours. Another point. Every way we gonna live, I'm like, hey, you ain't getting away. As soon as you think, another way, and another way, until you understand that you and I need to do something about it. It's not gonna be one brother Rizza, one brother, one sister, a little group. No. Every single one of you and me have to do something, even if it's an hour a week, 2 hours a week, do something. Because even though it doesn't look like nothing's going on, a whole lot is going on. And they're very quiet about it. When I say quiet, I mean, man, it is so crazy. So I will be going to the CDC, by the way. 2 weeks. For the first time, I'll be allowed inside. Did you hear what I said? Mm-hmm. And they said I can bring my videographer inside. Oh, they don't know me. Oh, you don't know who you let up there. Take some of these, right? Man, hey. Hey, but I'm going to grab all the information and bring it to you. See, the point is, some of us are going to have to sacrifice. See, I'm not afraid of death, and neither should you be. That's another thing some of us are going to love. I don't want to lose my job. I don't want to lose my car, you know what I'm saying? Me and my girl, we just patched things up. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to lose my comfort. I understand, brother. I get it. Your comfort is allowing our people to die. Slowly, painfully, beautifully, The enemy looks at us and laughs. I have been in meetings with some of these white folk. And you're like, damn, okay, hold on, bro. How you meeting with these? God damn it, meet with them. Y'all afraid of white folk? No. Why are you meeting with? Look, hey, listen. Say, listen, I would like to meet with you. So I can understand what is it that you are doing in my community. Or, sometimes you gotta be a little, you gotta play a little spook and stuff like that. Hey, some of you guys over here in Long Beach. You got a meeting going on tomorrow? Cool, hey, can I come down? Bring some friends. No, he's cool. He's one of us. Yeah, what's your name? Yeah, my name's Tim. Yeah, I'm Tim. Yeah. Turn around, get the brothers, let's go. Get up in there, boom, bam. Oh, you're Malcolmized. Somebody really said that. He's Malcolm. I was like, wow. I didn't damn mind. Sat down, they were like, but, so, I thought you were just coming to get, some, yes, I am. I am here to get some information. And they were like, damn, we can't kick them out now. So they go over certain information. I'm like, So you intend to buy this neighborhood like they're doing now? Compton is up for sale, they're buying that up. Watts, they're buying that up. Englewood, they're buying that up. What do you think is Long Beach? Renee talked to me, did they up the rent on the building, or did they up the, how much you gotta pay on this building? No, they ain't gonna do it. Why? Because we ain't doing it. If you got gold sitting right here, are you gonna do something with it, or, because I can take it, but clearly you don't know it's gold. And you leaving it there for me to take it, so hell, might as well, excuse me. Don't get mad. You left it there. What's my point? What's my point? Y'all with me? We cool?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Y'all engaged?
Yes, sir.
You falling asleep?
No, sir.
Okay, good. Making sure. Okay, really quick. Let me finish that point really quick here. The vaccines, when I say there's a lot that goes into that, I'll just leave it at this point. Healthy People 2020 is to make sure 90% of the population gets vaccinated. Absolutely, that includes white folks. The difference is black people, once again, our melanin. These are melanin-coated vaccines. Melanin-coated. Same thing with crack cocaine, melanin-coated. A white person can smoke crack, black person smoke crack, it affects us 10 times harder because it is coated to latch onto melanin. Did you hear me? Latch onto it, to where it gives us a high that's out of this world, but not for them. Recently, interestingly enough, Donald Trump went ahead and moved around the mandatory minimum law. Interesting. About crack cocaine. I said, oh, look at Trump doing a little something that looks decent. Okay? He removed that. Seriously, he did. And he switched it, and he's helping to release over 2,600 people who were convicted for having the possession of crack cocaine, and other people had a bunch of powder cocaine, but they convicted them for years, 30 years. So they happened to remove that. I said, that's interesting, but why is that? See, you always have to question the motive of the enemy. Why are you releasing 2,600 potential revolutionary leaders? Potential doctors, potential lawyers. They've been watching Law and Order every day for like 20 years. You got lawyers coming out here. You got a bunch of Johnny Coppers, right? Seriously. Why would they release them? I need to know. Why would they take investments out of their own pocket? Because they invest in us when we're in prison. And insurance policies put them on every black person, Mexican person, white person's head. So if you die in prison, the prison makes money. Did you hear me? They trade the prison on the stock market. We know that. Some of us heard it. Yeah, no, like literally. I invest in you, and I make money when you die in prison. Why would I take 2,600 of y'all out of my prison? What's this enemy up to? Okay, I want us to think. We thinking? Yeah. Are we thinking? Yes. Okay. Ever heard of Margaret Sanger?
Yes.
We should really know that demon's name.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We should really know that demon's name. Oh yes. Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama received the Margaret Sanger Award. He did. I'm not throwing shots at my brother. Oh yeah. She's an honorary Klanswoman. Was. Hillary Clinton, I ain't talking about her, but I'm pretty sure. Okay, we're talking about, but Margaret Sanger, honorary Klanswoman. She was a eugenicist. You've heard of eugenics.
Yeah.
The system, good genes, good stock, eugenics, founded by a psychiatrist by the name of Francis Galton, cousin to Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin, theory of evolution. Everybody came from monkeys, but his cousin said that black folks are the only ones who are inferior. They teach that in school.
Right.
Okay. That go your head? You good? Okay, we talking. All right, make sure we on the same point. Planned Parenthood used to be called the American Birth Control League. Then they had eugenic sites all across the country and across the world. When it came here, it changed into Planned Parenthood because they are planning your parenthood. They're planning it for you, right? Planning. Who helps you to kill your child? Who helps you to do this? Just pay a nominal fee of $400, you know what I'm saying? Bring you in the back, you'll be done with jail. No, I know some of y'all like it. And let me say this, any sister who has had an abortion, not judging you whatsoever. I don't want to bring those ideas up, however I'm bringing up this topic. And I want to be very mindful of the things that do affect us, okay? Y'all, everybody hear me? Yeah. Just being mindful because we do deal with certain things. So if you made certain decisions, I'm not talking about that. However, I'm talking about the system that's there.
Right.
Planned Parenthood. As of right now, we have aborted well over 3 million of us. Easy. Over 3 million of us. As of right now, you have something called organ trafficking, organ stealing. Now, some of you have heard of this. Most of you possibly have heard of this. However, you literally have organizations, and I told people this was going to happen. You have organizations using young blood, they call it young blood, that they are getting from children, from aborted fetuses, and they're using it, mainly white folks, to make themselves younger. It's legal now. You saw the video? See my brother. Barbershop. Hey, y'all tight knit. Y'all cool. Y'all good too. I'm just saying barbershop banging right now. Hey, what's up? You know? All right. They are now using. Man. There's a whole lot I don't see on these videos. Just put it that way. I would have been shut down. I'm surprised they still let me up right now on Instagram. I'm really surprised. Okay, they're gonna shut it down one day. I don't care. But they're using the circumcised foreskin of little children to give facials to women. They call it the penis facial. Anybody saw the movie Bird Box? No. Go ahead when you was borrowing your friend's Netflix passwords. Everybody will come out, we're gonna watch Jeffrey's Netflix. It's Netflix. Let's do that. Bird Box, man, that thing, I believe it hit the world record on Netflix.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. The most watched video so far on Netflix is Bird Box. White folks trying to find, oh my God, it's dangerous. I actually laughed. It was a great conversation. Wow, there's a bunch of black folks running around. That's funny to say. Like, some of y'all like, okay, no, but for real, it was hilarious. Like, okay, what can make white people so afraid to where they just can't look? I just want to know. They be running to sharks and I'm gonna put my hand in his head. What would make y'all afraid? Just a thought. Sandra Bullock, who starred in Bird Box. Raise your hand if you saw my video where I broke this down. Okay. Barbershop, okay. All right, we rocking. Bird Box, and I recommend you check it out on YouTube when we leave. Sandra Bullock got on the Ellen DeGeneres show. Ellen is like oh my Lord. This woman, she like one of the smoothest devils. Yes. And she'll smile, yeah, that's okay. I'm like, she is creepy as hell. She be doing something to the people. I don't know, but it's like, it's weird. Y'all check it out, all right? Don't, you hate white folks, I don't hate white people. That's beneath. Okay? It's okay to explain what people do. And just white people happen to do the majority of their things. Okay? So we're like, but I can have a white person right here and talk to him, shake his hand, and we all good. Ain't, still white. Yeah. All right. Anyway, Sandra Bullock gets on the Ellen show and she says that I get facials and it comes from the foreskin of little Korean babies. Why you specify a little Korean babies? Ain't that many Korean babies. Let's just be real. Korea is this big. And there's a bunch of y'all white women trying to do everything to look like black women. Use everything to look like black women. It's too many of y'all. So you're telling me you only getting from the... Knock it off. So she said, I do that. And Ellen said, it's foreskin from little babies. And everybody said, oh my God, whoa, whoa. You know, Ellen's... Actually, they applauded. It's weird. So that's what I'm saying. Ellen's crew is weird. Applauding. Oh! I said, wow. And she said, well, no, it's not. It's not like I have little foreskin, skin all over my face. Not that. But she said, it's the cells that they inject into my face to make me look younger. Listen. And they laughed. Listen to me. They laughed on her show. You telling me they have found a way to take the stem cells from babies and children to make themselves look younger. Why? Because again, 2042, this will be a majority brown country. They know this. So they're trying to do what? Turn back the clock. White women don't age too well. Y'all like, can he stop talking about white women? Please, brother, I got friends. How am I with my friends, bro? Ashley, I can hang out with you, I'm sorry. Look, it's okay. We're speaking facts, right? They have the least amount of melanin. Therefore, their skin does not hold that much youth. The sun is trying to kill them because by nature they are not sun people. So they dwell in cold water, cold climate, cold everything. When they come into the sun, it is exterminating them if they stay long enough. Yes? This is only facts. Y'all like, damn, he enjoying that. If it rolls off the tongue, it rolls off the tongue, black man. But seriously, that is what is happening. So they're trying to find as many ways as they can to prolong their life. The organs that they take from the children, they use the cells from that to infuse in their body. Right now you have, man, I'm telling you, this is why the enemy uses sex to control us. I'm going to say this for those of us who just be like, man, I got to have it, brother. I'm going to say this to you, like, man, look. You don't want to die for a pleasure that is not worth your people. I know some of y'all thought I was going to say something even heavier than that. But that was heavy enough. Is sex worth you and your people losing your ability or your likelihood of being liberated and free? Do you want liberation or you just want to have sex all day? Some of us are going to have to look in the mirror and really question, is it that good to where I lose the dignity of my people? I potentially prevent my people from succeeding? The enemy controls us through sex. I'm saying this for a reason right now, because all of these abortions are helping them. But they ain't going to tell you to not come. No, they're not going to tell you not to come over here. Come over here. Come on. You walk out, you get some lollipops and some cookies. Hey, you get some gift cards. They are like sick. So they're using this as a business, and the body parts are sold. There's one company by the name of STEM Express. Write it down. STEM Express. They contract with Planned Parenthood, and they give them a quota price of how many abortions they need per week. Listen to what I'm saying, man. Oh. They need a certain quota of abortions per week in order to maintain the quota for the patients who require the cells that come from your blood, the platelets. How many of you have donated blood before? For the plasma and for all that?
For that t-shirt.
For that t-shirt, right, you got t-shirts. I ain't a shirt.
I didn't even get one.
Some places offer you a shirt, some offer you $10, some offer you $25, some even offer you $50. That bottle of blood is worth thousands, tens of thousands, just that one. From you, right? They know we poor as a demographic. They know we're not poor, unorganized with our money, okay? They know we're highly unorganized. So they utilize that to their advantage. They take advantage of it, boom. All right, feminine condition here, boom. All right, chicken here, boom. Put a bunch of sex on the movies and the videos and the boom, 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 push. All right, hey, got, Planned Parenthood, if you need an abortion, boom, here you go with your condoms, we'll give you free condoms, here you go. They push it hard. Hey, we want to inject you with AIDS and have you spread it, inject you with HIV, spread it. We want to keep on doing this, we want to put in, certain chemicals in certain foods, spread it, boom, 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 boom. Why? Because once again, they are dying out. Did you get that point so far on that area?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next point. We almost there. We're gonna have a Q&A, yes?
Right.
Okay. So let me go ahead and land this one. Y'all cool? Barbershop, y'all good? All right, anybody? That's what I like to see, black man. Okay. Our unity is more powerful than a hydrogen or an atomic bomb, according to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and it stands true. As of right now, brothers and sisters, here's another thing I'm going to delve into really quick. I actually have two things to delve into really quick. Number one, Tamika Mallory. Raise your hand if you know who she is. Okay, some agree with her, some don't, some like her, some don't. I'm not here to argue that point. Sister Tamika Mallory was pushed to denounce the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan recently. Right? Raise your hand if you saw that. It was pushing her hard on national television. Why were you at Savior's Day at a known anti-Semites, event? They keep tossing that crap around. We the Semitic people.
That part.
We are the Hebrews. Yes, Brother Nation of Islam is saying this. We know this. We are the Israelites. The hell are you talking about? So you made everybody believe that that's you when it's actually us, and you made the entire world believe your crap and your mess, and push it. Lies. Here's my point. She did not denounce the minister. And they kept pushing, the white woman, kept pushing. It's funny when white women try to come at black women. It's like, y'all need to study your history. Because sisters have all the reasons to crack you in the jaw. Do y'all know the history about black women, white women? You? Okay. See, y'all think I'm being harsh right now. I'm not being harsh. I'm just saying. Like, what the white woman did. Lord have mercy. Okay. So my point is, on a show, national television, when a woman is pushing another woman to say something that she does not want to say, you would feel a little punked if somebody just keep pushing, or just say it. You'd be like, what the? After a certain point, like, hey, chill out. Okay, thank you, but no, I don't. She said that's not how I talk. She didn't denounce the minister. What's my point? The government is coming after every single leader who they see is a leader. Because Tamika Mallory did not denounce Minister Farrakhan, a number of organizations and groups pulled away from her and the women's movement and all that. One of these women is one by the name of Kamala Harris.
Uh-oh.
Y'all know how the nation deal with politicians. Let me say this real quick. I love our sisters and I love our brothers. Right?
Close the door.
Love it. He's a close. Let the water shut. Hey, turn it up in this game. He's like the damn fake Jews, bro. In the back, like that's what I'm talking about. Okay, now Kamala Harris, love our sister. Okay, because being a. All right. I love our black women. That's safe. That's safe. If she, you know what I'm saying, you see that escape. She doesn't claim to be a black woman. Oh. Right. If you go on and listen to her recent talks and her interviews, she laughs real hard and smiles hard like Hillary Clinton. Creepy. You ask her a straight question. You must have read my book. I was like, that woman is, you don't talk about it. And they said, what do you identify yourself as? I am an American. What the hell is an American? I'm gonna leave y'all to that. If I'm my Moorish brother, that's right, brother. That's right. It just like vouch. She doesn't identify with that. Here's the next point. She pulled away from Tamika Mallory because she refused to denounce him as Farrakhan. Kamala Harris met with Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel. You understand how dangerous this is? Okay. She spoke at AIPAC, which is the organization between the Israeli or American Israel Coalition. They are the group and organization of people who live in America who protect and abide by and love Israel, including, I believe, it's North or South Carolina that has now made it illegal to even criticize Israel. Did you hear what I just said? How is it you're not America, but I can't talk about you, or else I go to jail? Who really runs America? See, once again, these people who claim to be you, let's make this very clear. They say they are the true Jews. All right, I'm not going to go into this because I know you're like, man, nation, y'all don't let up on them. Hell, no, we ain't going to let up on them.
That's right.
Man. Okay, look. Get the book, Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews, book 1, 2, and 3. Says everything that I don't even need to say right now. But if they say they are the true Jews, which is you, they say they are the true people, and they're God's people, and blah, blah, everybody should follow us and protect us, etc., etc. They then use their influence to attack the real people who are the true Jews, the real people who are the true Israelites, the real people who are the true Asiatic original people. And they use their influence in media, music, politics, and they use it in economics to destroy every way by which you can become free and liberated. You understand how I just connected all this? Yeah. So if you see a black person standing with them, you are looking at someone who is not a friend to our liberation. Do you understand? Right. Kamala Harris, Cory Booker. Not just because he likes skin.
Right, Breakfast Club.
Nothing to do with that. But he was on the Breakfast Club and he was asked by Charlamagne. You know Charlamagne.
Right.
I don't agree with Charlamagne all the time, but Charlamagne, you know, he loves the minister, loves him, he loves being black, he'll talk it, you know. It'll sound like he wears it, Elijah Muhammad on this neck. I'll be like, that's cool, brother. But he will hit these politicians with heavy questions, and he does do that. He says, so do you have a black agenda? And you looked at him like, Cory Booker then does the same thing, laugh. As an African American, I have, excuse me. Brother, I asked you if you had a black agenda, meaning do you have a set aside plan specifically for black folk? He couldn't answer the question. He went on for like 5-10 minutes and didn't say nothing about black folk. Next person, I believe this woman's name is Miriam, white woman running for the presidency. Said that she's going to give black folks $100 billion for reparations. Hey, yo. A lot of people, reason we get reparations. I was like, oh, word? I said, how much land? See, let's get real with it. How much land we get? I don't need a backyard, damn it. I need some states. How much land we? 1, 2. How much money we getting? 3. Are these 3 to 5, 4 to 5 states, are they near the ocean with an outlet to the sea? So that we can do international business and trade. This is in the back of every Final Call newspaper, by the way. It's been on the back of that Final Call for nearly 100 years. Okay, let's just make this very clear. So anytime y'all want to talk, know that there are those of us who really have been about this, and a lot of you have been about it too. And a lot of groups have been about it. But now is our time to really push this. This white woman, she's just white, okay? Some of y'all are getting offended now. I think you just know it's the facts. The white woman came out, she's a spiritual healer, and she said, I propose $100 billion for the descendants of the transatlantic slave trade. They deserve it. They've been through horrible conditions. I appreciated her words. How much, Ms. Wiley, are you going to give in reparation? I propose $100 billion, $10 billion over a 10-year period of time. $10 billion every year. 45 to 50 million black folks in America currently. If you do the math, 100 billion divided by the 50 million of us, over a 10-year period of time, 10 billion spread out between 50 million would give all of us an estimated 50 psych, 30 psych, $200 a year. Hey yo, hey, that's cable money. That's my T-Mobile bill, and maybe some McDonald's. Did you insult? Did she insult us? Did they insult us? $200? You're like, can I punch her? I just choke somebody. Listen, and she's very serious, and they thought we would take that. We would accept that. I said, wow, just because you said the word reparations for the first time, oh, now we're just gonna fall for it. Do you have any idea how many of our people actually feel that credit? A lot of our people falling for Kamala Harris because she said, Wakanda. I can't believe she did this right. She said, Wakanda Forever, sponsored by Kamala Harris. She said, sponsored by me. I said, this is the funniest thing I've ever said. Anything to get black folks. You got a white woman offering reparations, black woman offering Wakanda that don't even exist. I'm like, it's a movie. And everybody now is like, damn, politics really is a joke, but I guess actually a movie. Now you see. You're like, wow, it's really a movie. It's crazy. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad said that you must do for self or suffer the consequences. I'm not interested in no politician. I don't know about y'all. Some of you are like, well, no, if you want to vote locally, of course, you know, your mayor and all this, of course, you know, the school board, of course. And you can put pressure on them easier than you can put pressure on the president. But just know the president is selected, not elected. We know this, right? And ain't no president going to have an agenda that benefits black folk. Do we understand that? They're just not. Only because they actually make the majority of their money by keeping us subservient to them. From our bodies, from our cheap labor, from us and the Mexican brothers and sisters. From us stimulating their economy by spending money on their alcohol, on their drugs, on their everything. We stimulate their economy with over $1 trillion. And once again, America has over $27.1 trillion in debt, according to them. But they owe over 40 countries money. These countries happen to be the ones that they are always going to war with. Because America has enough bombs to threaten them and bully them, but they don't have enough money to pay them back. Okay? Last 2 points here, and we're going to wrap this up. Ooh. Going some chapstick for this one. All right.
If you can.
The gay agenda. Okay.
Do the thing.
All right.
No,
Some of y'all like.
somebody to do it.
Let's see where he goes with this. I talked about this earlier at the college. A couple of them didn't like it too much. They walked outside. I talked about the gay agenda, but I explained to them about toxic masculinity. Oh yeah, we're in Long Beach. Oh, I know. And I'm not a long way from home. Hey, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if sex is more important to you than the liberation of your people, you should just walk the hell out right now. I'm gonna say it again. Some of y'all like, well, if sex is more important than the liberation of your people, you should get up and walk out. Did you hear what I just said? You cannot pay. You can't pay a Jewish person to leave their people. Did you hear me? You can't pay them to do it. They're not gonna do it. They have pride about theirs. They know what is important. They are their people first. Is that right? They are with theirs first. They know. The Italians know. We family first. Do you understand? With us, we don't know what the hell is first. I'm gonna say this straight. Because this is why the enemy has such an upward hand, up position, and has us so low and so degraded because he controls us through food, through shelter, through economics, and of course, through our lower desire, sex. Controls us with it. If I can control this sister with her sexual desire, she will be my slave. You understand? This is what they do. But if you can't be controlled by that, you got more up here than anywhere else. You have discipline and dignity and self-worth, and you're like, nah, you're not going to get this. What else you offer? Then they cannot control you. They can't. And they hate those whom they cannot control. They actually hate us. They like literally hate us. I throw alcohol at them, he don't drink it. I'm not hitting at y'all. I'm just saying this is what the enemy does, right? I throw women at him, he don't be biting. Damn. They use that to bring down a lot of our leaders, women. They've used them, like strategically placed white women around our leaders. Martin Luther King fell for one. Y'all like, my leader, look. Well, damn, brother, you was with him? I don't know how many, but my point is, white women have been used. And they're still being used today. This is why that discussion between me and Nick Cannon was so heated. Because he was like, why can't I have, hey, I said, brother, like, I said, if that's what you choose, but damn. I mean, he was like, putting on for the white woman. And he's, he's learning. Our brother's learning. But he was like, he's learning. But he was really like, he was asking the question because he said, this is how a lot of the rich black men think. And that's what he said. He said, a lot of them think like that. He said, they get a certain amount of money and they think like that. I said, yes, that's very true. What I didn't tell him was, yeah, a lot of these people become athletes and they sign contracts. What they don't know is that the government already has a white woman waiting for them who knows everything about them. They have your file. CIA file. They have a person memorize everything in it. This is their training. And some of y'all are like, are you serious? Like they do that? Yes, they do that. Of course. She shows up at the party after you sign your contract. Oh man, Papa Champagne, all right, cool, boom. She walks up to you, hey, how you doing? Oh, good, how you doing? We like dancing. And how you doing? You hanging out with her and all that, boom, boom, boom. Wow. You were in a conversation for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. Damn, we got so much in common. Man, she made me feel so good. She ain't yelling like my ex-girlfriend. That's what they be saying, all right? I'm not agreeing. They're like, boy, I'm just saying. And all these excuses come along. She does this, oh man, She studied you, sir. And it's not just white women entirely. What I'm saying is, once you get to a position where you have the ability, the money, and the platform to free a chunk of your people almost overnight, you think they just gonna give you that? You think so? That's not how this game goes. You are monitored. Period, point blank. That's how it goes. This is the enemy's world. He wants to make sure he has the slaves in check. That's why he got Nike on most of them, because he still got these niggas in check. I'm trying. Okay.
Still didn't like that one.
By the way, Colin Kaepernick got his contract with Nike, so he's not entirely doing everything for black folks that he can be doing. But he still gets paid by Nike. Just wanted to, y'all can take that how you will. Okay. Love the brother, because he did bring awareness to it, which is beautiful. I'm just saying. Okay. Let me go on to the next one. Okay, the gay agenda real quick, we'll just run through some fast. Okay. They're doing a lot of different things, including the toxic masculinity piece. Yes? Okay, coming after the men, okay, you can't be a man, blah, 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 boom. All right, boom. Now, next thing you have, Chris Brown announces he gains his masters, control over the masters of his music. Boom. Woman says he raped me. Week after, 1 week. Okay, sisters, let's be just. Can we all agree, brothers and sisters? Does Chris Brown have to force a woman to have sex with him? We're talking about Chris Rizza. She Rizza. Yeah. She said,
absolutely not.
I just want to, let's We're on the same page, right? The people were so, they were like, okay, hold on, y'all, I did this to R. Kelly, yeah, he probably is guilty of a lot of stuff. Sure, fine. But Chris Brown, I don't know if we can believe that. The people were so, this is how you know your reputation, by the way. Make sure your reputation is clean. The people, celebrities, all these people was coming out for Chris Brown, like, hell, what? It was going, hold on. These the women, like, I would. You know, the women, that's what they were saying, okay? Celebrity women, like, it's Chris Brown. Really? They were going off, and then Chris Brown came out and said, she lying. Less than 24 hours, this one came out and said, I made it up. Lawyers was on her. People all over the world was like, are you serious? They're like, hold on, listen. Okay, we get it with R. Kelly. You went after Bill Cosby. Okay, if he's guilty, fine. But I'm trying to figure out how all these white women just kept going up to this married man's room. Now, I'm not justifying it. Some of y'all like, really? No, I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying, I'm trying to figure out how all these people, how? So they went off about that. Boom. Turns out he's innocent. Okay, next point. Since we're on that, the black man right now is on the rise of black excellence. We got black-owned businesses popping up almost every week. The black woman is black excellence. She popping up in all the magazines, the top of everything. Everything everywhere.
That's right.
First black woman this. Nuclear physicist this. Founder of this.
That's right.
Boom, boom, boom. Young girl has a contract now with, I think it was Walmart or Whole Foods. Her own lemonade line. All this. It's like, man, we are taking over. We told y'all. We're going to come back. you go ahead, do your thing for 6,000 years. Or 6,000. And we're going to come right back. They're like, they are popping up all over the place. Right? No, they can. They literally can. And they know that. So here's my next point. On top of everything else they're doing, they're losing numbers. And so they have to come at us through every single which way. I went over marijuana, I went over vaccines, I went over, I did go over one thing, Lord have mercy. All right, the gay agenda is another way because all of this has to do with depopulation, okay? Are we on the same page? Yeah. Okay, depopulation is very real. National Security Study Memorandum 200, NSSM 200, say NSSM 200. Study this document. It was written by Dr. Henry Kissinger, who was the 32nd Secretary of State under President Richard Nixon and Gerald Ford. And he stated, here's a quote from it, depopulation should be the highest priority of U.S. foreign policy towards the third world. End quote. This is federal level. Did you hear what I just said? Jimmy Carter authorized something called Global 2000. A lot of people have talked about these things, but we got to be reminded. I've heard it from a number of sources. I first heard it from the Minister Carter. And that document outlines how food can be used as a weapon. We know about Monsanto, yes? Yes. We know Monsanto got a contract out with Amazon, yes? Didn't know that? We know that. Who was it? Amazon has a contract with Whole Foods. We know Bayer Pharmaceuticals has a contract with Monsanto. Yes? Okay. We'll make sure we're on the same page here. So they had to come at us through all of these different avenues. The gay agenda, and some of you are like, what do you mean agenda? Okay. They are using chemicals. They are using warfare. Have you ever heard of the gay bomb? You ever heard of the gay bomb? Like, he is like making stuff up. like what you mean like 1994, the United States Military, Army Division specifically, was coming up with chemicals by which they could utilize to drop a bomb inside of a foreign nation, not kill their enemy, but release pheromones from women in these bombs in a chemical concoction that would force their enemy to turn on themselves and become physically attracted to one another in the heat of battle. Gay bomb. Boom! Okay. What you mean, man? And you tell me they ain't dropped the gay bomb yet? Barbershop! Listen, what I'm saying is, They have to come up with as many ways as they can to slow down our reproduction and our having children so that they can catch back up. They have tried everything and it ain't working. Do you understand? So it's not too far-fetched, it's not crazy to think that they would have a way to chemically enhance femininity in men and enhance masculinity in women. It's not too far-fetched to think that, right? I just want to say that there's a whole lot more in that, including AIDS, which was originally called GRID, which stood for Gay-Related Immunodeficiency. I'll say it again. AIDS, Acquired Immune Deficiency Syndrome, originally was called GRID, Gay-Related Immunodeficiency. White men are the ones who had that, gay white men. They fought to have the name changed because they didn't want people to associate being gay with, getting diseases. Even though the way by which they have intercourse is possibly one of the biggest, easiest ways to get a disease. We don't have to go into the whole thing. We got a 10-year-old in here, right? And I've been saying some stuff.
9-year-old in the back.
9-year-old, ooh. Stay conscious.
Sleep.
All right. Last 2 points and we are done. So on that whole thing, just families, we're being comedic. I'm doing my best to make it light, but let's really think about what's going on here. Okay, let's really look at, and always remember that the same enemy is the same enemy. It's not white folk. The number one enemy is our ignorance. Number one. Our ignorance, in particularly of what this government is doing. And we just are not interested. And we think we can just skate through life and everything is cool. So our ignorance is number one. The Honorable Minister Farrakhan told us that we should argue over religion after we're free. Y'all cool with that? Yeah. Y'all cool with that? Why the hell am I arguing with you? I can't argue with you. I ain't got no business. I ain't got no farms. We need to get to work. Right now. Okay? So stop with the religious arguing, because y'all ain't heard me push the nation on y'all once. Islam on y'all, nothing, right? You haven't heard me push it on you, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to. Second to last point, really quick, psychiatry. How many of you have heard of psychiatry? Man, I know it's a lot. I've been studying the field of psychiatry over the last 12 to 14 years, the mental health system, mental health field. And psychiatry, there is a Caucasian woman by the name of Dr. Linda Loughlin, who I met with. Y'all like, you meet with a lot of white folks. Damn it, they running stuff. Study enemy. As Most High Elijah Muhammad said, study the white man, for he makes no excuses for his failures. That's what Most High Elijah Muhammad said. So we studying. I'm studying. She told me that Congress was pushing to have, this was 2 years ago, a delegate of men and women from the American Psychiatric Association to go into every mega church and promote to them that they should establish mental health facilities in their churches. Listen to what I just said. Some of y'all are like, okay, I understand what you mean, but like, what you mean though? Mental health facilities. Okay, they do not give a damn about your mental health. Let's just make this very clear. They make money off of selling lies to you over fictitious labels that are in their diagnostic and statistical manual. The way they come up with these mental disorders, literally, every year at their conference, they vote. All say, I'm in favor of scratching your head. Is that a disease? Can we classify that as a disease? If they get enough hands raised, they write it down, put an insurance number on it, get a drug billed for it, boom. Scratching your head disease, disorder. You think I'm playing, don't you? It's too simple. Brother Rizza, for real, bro? I think you making it up. God damn it, look it up then. That's how they do. They vote these things in. And they say it's based off of a chemical imbalance in the brain. When have you tested such a thing? And if white folks have killed virtually most of the people on the planet demographically, I'm saying as far as ethnics, and they killed, at least one of every culture on the planet, except for the ones on the islands. I want to teach about Jesus. Ain't touching them. Right? Other than those, they've touched virtually the entire planet, yes? And if we have not killed them, who really got the mental thing going on? We ain't killed, we not calling them, let's go kill white folks. But you know, been killing everybody. I'm just making a point. So when you say someone has a chemical imbalance in the brain, I think you should start in your own house. I think you should start in your own house first, Mr. White Man. Just saying, right? So that's their basis. So they are now promoting to the churches. They have started in certain areas, making these churches into not only mental health facilities, but also mental health referral clinics, and they will pay mega churches for referrals. You're supposed to be going to God to get your healing, right? You're going to the psychiatrist because your pastor told you to, because he's being paid to refer you there. All right, now I'm not saying it's all mega churches. I'm letting you know how this enemy is moving. Have I helped to uncover some things for you so far?
Yeah, most definitely.
It's hard as hell to hear this stuff. It's not easy to hear this and then go out and not want to do something to somebody. Or something. He like, damn. No, listen. I'm not saying go out and do nothing. No, that's absolutely not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is take this information and use it. You have to know what's going on. You have to educate other people. We have to unite, pool our resources so that we can do something for ourselves. We can't be divided no more because everybody else is united and benefiting off of our disunity. Right? Last point really quick, and I know I said that I think once or twice. Pedophilia. I'm hitting it all. Damn it, can it get any worse? I hope not. I don't want to know if it's getting worse. Pedophilia. Okay, David Thorstad, who was the founder of NAMBLA. Ever heard of NAMBLA? Yeah. Raise your hand if you ever heard of NAMBLA. Okay, raise your hand if you saw it on South Park first. That's how you found out. That's the first place I saw it. There was out on his face. North American Man-Boy Love Association. What? Barbershop, what you got, man? Hey, right. He said, yeah, okay. North American Man-Boy Love Association. This is an organization that advocates for the loving of little boys. Okay. This is the American version of the Greco-Roman, Greek and Roman tradition called pederasty. Pederasty is the tradition, it's the culture. Pedophilia. It changed into what's known now as pedophilia in America, but it was called pederasty first. And this is the culture of Greco-Roman, the Caucasian Greco-Roman, because the original Greeks and Romans were black folks. No need to debate me, look it up. They have been pushing this loving little boys all the way from the Greek and Roman times. But they wanted to bring it over here. And they have been successful. By the way, David Thorstad was also a member of the Gay Rights Association as well. He was a gay rights activist. You can take that how you want. And they are pushing for pedophilia to slowly become legalized in America. Did you hear what I just said? Slowly pushing for it to become legalized. Rizza, how can you say that? They're not that crazy. We talking about white folks now. They not that crazy? Right now you have something called gender fluidity being taught in schools in California. They have 10 books that are made mandatory for children to learn about homosexuality. They are being taught that there are not 1, 2, 5, 6, 10, but 71 genders. I'm blowing y'all away yet? You're like, hell no, no, no. Yes. They're being taught this. 71 genders. They're telling little children with this gender fluidity program that you can choose your gender, little boy. You can choose your gender, little girl. And if you feel like you're a girl, young boy, then you're a girl. If you feel like you're a boy, young girl, then you're a boy. If you feel like you're neither, you're neither. I'm non-binary. Is what they call it. I'm neither a man nor a woman. Get your pronouns correct. I literally saw a debate with this non-binary person. I'm not a man or a woman. Okay, I don't know what the hell to do about this. I don't know where to go with this. Okay, so, okay, you're an alien. But they get mad and say, get your pronouns, he, she, they, like that. It's becoming insane. But they're pushing it on the children. Then they turn around and say they hate pedophilia, yet they are pushing to legalize it slowly. Came after R. Kelly, but didn't go after the over 3,000 Catholic priests. Came after R. Kelly, but did not go after most of Hollywood producers. Most of Hollywood producers who these white men have been exposing, who have been doing this to a whole lot of people. And by the way, when the Catholic priests were exposed, the Pope at first said, well, the devil is attacking the church. Did you hear it? Say it again. When they were exposed, he was traveling to different Catholic churches, and almost every single one, the men were messing with little boys. And he said that this is an attack on the church. The devil is attacking them. He didn't say these white men are doing it. He said the devil is attacking the church. See, they make excuses for theirs. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yep.
Make excuses for theirs. But then ours, Michael Jackson, they resurrected him from the dead to right now. They brought out a documentary recently at the Sundance Film Festival a couple weeks ago from this man who said Michael Jackson touched him 20 years ago, and Michael Jackson was a pedophile. Recently, new documentary. They brought out R. Kelly, and I'm harping on this so you can understand where this is going. They are trying to move the face of pedophilia from white men to black men. Do you hear what I'm saying? So therefore, they will change the women and get you to attack him. They'll use you to attack your own brother, your own friend, your own husband. And they will literally have us fighting once again, even more than we're already fighting now. So they're coming after us in every single way possible. And I'm going to go ahead and end this, family, because, boy, I think I have pissed y'all off enough. Oh, okay, barbershop. Oh, okay. We have so many beautiful opportunities happening right now. Black people are rising, yes. Yes? Yes. Black people are waking up, yes. Yes. Black businesses are popping up, yes. Yes. Yes, okay. We are actually coming together. We are actually doing things for ourselves more now than we've done in a very long time. The only difference is we are not as organized as we should be. So we have to continue the organizing. Raise your hand if you own a business. Okay, the barbershop was like, bang, ain't all on, but you know they are, you know. Y'all barbers, huh? Y'all all barbers, but okay. I mean, it's legit, we need a haircut. All right, so everybody who owns businesses, okay, good. How many of you are working with other black-owned businesses through your business? You're both helping each other with your businesses. Okay, all right. First step, these are the steps, I mean, these are the solutions. Here's the steps, all right? Practical, we're getting right down to it. These are things you can start tomorrow without wasting too much time, right? It won't take too much time out of your day, but these are things you can actually start tomorrow. Locate a black-owned business that can help your business to enhance, but also you can help theirs to enhance. Locate at least one. If you have a clothing company, look for a daycare. Did you hear what I said? Mm-hmm. It's children, they need clothes. Seriously, I'm being very simple, but it has to be this. It has to be very, very simple, right? Practical solutions. Okay, if you have a business, find at least one that actually identifies with the purpose of yours, and you can both help each other without taking away from each other too much. Don't use each other up. Do you get what I'm saying? Feed into each other's business. I spend with you, you spend with me. Nation of Islam, for example. You need Navy beans. Some of y'all are like, okay, here you go with the Navy bean. Listen, we won't talk about the Navy bean. All right. The Navy bean has over 80 nutrients in it. Did you hear what I said? Or 80 nutrients. If you want to buy that, we have that. You can put it in virtually anything. protein, phosphorus, calcium. It has all these things. It's anti-aging. It's has anti-radiation properties, so it fights radiation. Slowly kills cancer. Yes, right. This as an example. So if you need staple goods, foods like that, Nation of Islam, you can go. Let's go. Unite. Let's do this. Boom. If you have a business where you do hair, raise your hand if you do hair. Oh, we got all the black men here. None of y'all do hair? Okay. Dang, man, them Chinese folks, they would love to be in this room. Yeah. The Koreans, oh. Okay. So one black, okay, y'all know this is wrong. Y'all know this is wrong. One, barbershop. Barbershop. Do y'all do hair? Oh, okay. I'm so glad we got no outsiders in here right now. They black, I'm taking all your money. Okay. How many of you do nails? Oh. Barbershop, y'all do nails? Okay. Lord have mercy. Learn how to do hair. Start with your own. Oh, you do nails?
She does nails. The 9-year-old's listening.
Oh, I was wondering where that hand was coming from. I was like, that hand is broke. All right, listen. Okay, so she does hair. Good. Learn how to do nails. Start with your own. I've given this advice to a lot of sisters before because you can make a lot of money doing nails. You do know this, right? Women, raise your hand if you love getting your nails done, sisters. Okay, hold on. I'm asking a question again. Everyone will raise your hand. Just raise your hand. Just pretend. Oh, okay, good. All the sisters like, yay! All right. Listen. Work with the sisters who do nails. A lot of sisters travel and do nails, right? They'll drive to you and do your nails and pay them a good amount. Now, if they do, the service is not too good, let them know. This is another thing we need to do. We need to love one another enough to correct one another and don't just abandon the business. Don't just stop shopping with me because you don't like the way my service. Well, tell me about it. How can I improve it so that I can improve it for my brothers and my sisters when they come in, so that I don't run them away? Does this make sense? Yeah. Learn how to correct each other. Don't abandon each other. Next point. Any real estate owners in this room? Anybody who own any property? 1, 2, 3, 4. Barbershop look kind of dry. All right. 4 real estate owners. I know we have had issues with black folks before in the past. Credit probably didn't go through. You was doing the beautiful thing, being a good sister to your brother. I'm just, let my brother take it, on the promise, that he'll pay his rent on time. And we dropped the ball. I'm sure it happened a couple times. All right? Have faith in your people. Okay? Rent to your people. Have them be honest. Can you pay it for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months? I know y'all like, okay, yeah, that's simple. Yeah, I'm being simple for a reason. Because we need to have these steps, because this is what everybody else does. The Jewish folks grab an entire plot of land, build an apartment complex, and put their whole family in there. Did you hear what I said? Mm-hmm. They move all their people in there. The Chinese, I met with a few of them. You keep meeting with them. Yes! Got to meet with them to learn what they do. They said they come together, each Chinese, right? When they're buying up a certain place and they're buying up these Chinese food places that they make at the Chinese food places. They each come together with $1,000 a piece, 10 of them. Listen to this basic economics, right? Who talks about economics heavily? Claude Anderson, Minister Farrakhan, right? Claude Anderson's main thing is power economics. That's the main thing. 10 of us get $1,000 together. Boom. You see a property you want, 10 grand, down payment. Bam. Grab it, snatch it. Every month, pay on it. Build something in it, whatever it is. But make it ours. Why? Because at the end of the day, the people who are the true power source, the true liberated, free people, are those who own land. Land. Did you hear me? Not just the building. Land. Because you can control what's on the land. Sovereignty. You become sovereign. Once you grab the land, you do what you want. I don't want to drag it on too long, but family, those were some solutions. I had to give you some of those. But my major point now is the enemy has a way of coming at us heavily right now. And they're coming at us with everything they got. We have to open our eyes and understand exactly what's going on. come together and unite so that we can do something for ourselves. Even if you feel like you don't have much to offer, volunteer at a black-owned business that needs help. Did you hear what I said? Yeah. Volunteer at one, or even, get hired at one. But really help and say, listen, I'm doing this for the culture, for the people, because we have to become free. We ain't there yet, and it will take a little time, but if we all get on the same page, say same page, we will be able to have freedom, justice, equality, and true liberation. Thank you very much, family. Assalamu alaikum. You never see this happening with anybody else. Chinese don't have to ask for the money. They know what they're investing in. They make sure they want to stay free. They're not playing. They know they want to stay free. So they will put 100, 200, 300. They'll sacrifice as long as they know we're not going to be beneath the black folks. I'm so serious. A lot of them say as long as we will not be beneath them, I will sacrifice. That's what they do, and that's why a lot of them will live in the same house. They'll work in the same business. Matter of fact, they'll buy a building that they can put rooms in the back and work in the front. That's how nation-minded they are. Do you understand? They're on that one mentality. So 10, 20 of y'all match my 20 that I just put in there. Sacrifice, man. We need to keep this open. We have to do what the brother said. We have to invest in our people. It's real simple. And I know sometimes we like, man, we done invested in black businesses, invested in this, and it turned out to be this. I understand. It's $20. Just being real. Some of y'all like, brother, it's $20. Okay, just sacrifice. Even if it's 5, 10, whatever you can afford, do that. So that they can keep this going. Now, really quick, Q&A. It could be any questions. I'm waiting for it's like 2 hot ones I'm waiting for somebody to ask right now.
Kind of a question and comment. What was it that you said was turning the frogs from
atrazine?
Okay. I saw a short documentary about that. It was something like 60 Minutes or something like that. But there's a town in Canada where the women are just not having male babies. A whole town where it's affecting a lot of the women.
Yes.
You could YouTube that.
It's very real.
Yeah.
It is absolutely a real phenomenon. It's not a joke. Oh, brother, okay, we got man.
I'll say that. That's just a security.
So, was that one question?
Yeah, that was like a comment.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Oh,
Brother Isaiah, you got it?
yes, sir. So within most of these college campuses, the sociology field is basically going in towards the intersectionality piece. And with me, I see it as like a divisive tool to like break up the black man and the black woman. But I just wanted to understand and know your ideals about intersectionality.
Number one, if it has nothing to do with uniting one with the other, then it is absolutely not valuable whatsoever. If you are coming with an ideology, an idea, a way of thinking, and it has nothing to do with black men, black women coming together, Chinese men, Chinese women coming together, anybody, men and women coming together, then you are dealing with a white supremacist system. Doesn't matter whose face is on it. You understand? So intersectionality is supposed to actually be more like interdependent sectionality, meaning one is dependent on the other. We depend on each other. Do you understand? Yeah. So those types of systems, brother, I don't, once again, what school is it and who teaches the sociology class and whose ideology of sociology are they getting it from? That'll let you know exactly what's going on. Because not all sociology is the same per culture. They teach it depending on the culture, but who is teaching it in this one? What is that? Who did they get it from? And that will let you know who it is to benefit and who it is to degrade. Okay? That's good. Don't be afraid, y'all. What's up? Hey! We chill, it's past 10 o'clock. We family. Yes, ma'am.
Do you know any doctors that will sign a medical exemption for vaccines?
Thank you.
I've been having the hardest time trying to find them for my kids.
Thank you so much. One, I can't answer that question directly here because I don't know who's here. Ain't no hit to y'all. You're like, bro, I know. What I'm saying is doctors are coming amiss, literally. And it's not a joke. They do not want nobody to get around this. So to answer your question, go on a couple websites and you'll be able to get this for yourself. VILE, Vaccine Injury Awareness League. VILE, Vaccine Injury Awareness League. Another website, VAERS, Vaccine Adverse Events Reporting System. VAERS, Vaccine Adverse Events Reporting System. Another website, VAX Truth, VAXTRUTH. I believe it's .org, I believe. VaxTruth.org. These websites will give you resources to get that for yourself. Here's another point. California, Mississippi, West Virginia, they all got rid of the religious exemption. Basically, the government is saying that God is not more important. We are. Your religion is no excuse anymore. It's real evil, man. But they do in California still have the medical exemption, and they have the philosophical exemption. Personal belief, more so philosophical, but the religious belief, they scrap that with this law. But the medical, if you can prove that somebody in your family has been injured, it can be 20 years ago, it could be a cousin's auntie, twice removed, whatever. But if you can prove that somebody in your family was vaccine injured in some way, then they, by law, have to look at that, honor that, and say, okay, then we'll sign off for it. Okay?
Completely experiment. Go see if you related to anyone from that community.
Oh, yeah.
All of them.
Oh, yeah. Every community that doesn't get vaccinated, you see no autism. You see none of these different debilitating disorders, including the Amish, all the white folks that are off the grid, no autism, except they have a few cases, and those cases are people who got autism because they got vaccinated before they came into the Amish community.
I have a question.
Yes, sir, and I think,
We're gonna let this brother go, and you.
gotcha. And I think
Which one are you doing?
Okay, you good.
Okay, my cousin just had a child, and she's a nurse, and she had a child at home. I was just wondering why she was doing that, and she just told me that I guess when she had her baby, she kept the placenta attached for a certain amount of time, because she said the babies will highly benefit from that. And she said she cut me, because as soon as the child was born, they cut the umbilical cord.
Yes,
And she said because you profit off that placenta, stem cells and all that stuff, like the thing you was talking about earlier.
Yes.
So that is true.
100%.
Okay, 100%. Okay.
Sisters, one, I recommend you have a birth at home. The ultimate way to get rid of this is to have your child at home born, because they're trying to come after that too. I don't want to give you all the negative stuff. This is so much. But they are doing their best to come after it. Homeschooling is also the solution when it comes to that. If you can't afford it, if you can do it, do it. If you got both parents, y'all working it out, okay. Work it out if you can. Homeschooling and a home birth. The reason why. Home birthing, 1, prevents your child from being vaccinated, getting all the chemicals, all that insane stuff. 2, the placenta, the entire bag is pumping all of the nutrients needed. That child needs all of those nutrients. So it pumps until all the nutrients have gone inside the body, and it falls off within a couple days on its own. Did you hear what I just said? But they make tons of money. If you are in the hospital, you give birth to the child, they'll bring the child out with the placenta, the bag, everything attached, and they'll let it pump for a few minutes, and then they'll clamp the cord. And they'll snip it and take it off. Why? Because the amount of money they're making from them stem cells. Ooh, they like, we're gonna take this, and they're putting it in creams. They're putting it, to do facials. They're putting it in all kinds of medications, medicine, all of this stuff. They're getting it from your stem cells, sisters, man. So just be mindful that having a home birth is the #1 best way to do a natural water birth, standing upward. Gravity allows it to come out smoothly. It meaning the child, it allows it to be natural. That's how we do it. On your back is the European way of doing it. You do not have a child laying on your back. It puts pressure on the spine. It destroys the birth canal. It's horrible. That's how white women have been doing it until we taught them when they came out of the cave.
Epidurals and chemicals so they can relieve that pain.
Oh yeah, epidurals, all that stuff. So just stay out the hospital if you can. That's all I'm saying. Get out of the hospital. Go home and do it there, and have some support. Have a midwife or a doula. Okay, search for those. There's a lot of them, and there are some women who do classes to be a doula. A couple weeks, you'll learn everything you need to know. You and your man, your husband, your baby dad, whatever you all want to call it. You can have the birth at home naturally. He has his hand up. Yes,
I stay in Watts, and
my brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
and I've been told that there's like boxes that we have out in Watts, and there's they got like trees and stuff that's disguising it to
Cell towers.
sell like frequencies and stuff in the air. I want to know if you know anything about that and if that's.
Damn it, I don't like knowing all this stuff. I'm gonna.
It's depressing. It would be depressing.
Yes. Number one, you have something called chemtrails. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. They spray these chemicals in the sky usually between 3:45 to 6 p.m. every day. Fridays they spray more because more people are outside. Okay. They spray the chemicals in the upper levels of atmosphere. By about 10, 11 p.m. they get down into our lower level of atmosphere. In these chemical concoctions, they have barium, strontium, depleted red blood cells. They have all these chemicals. These are metals. And the red blood cells, they mix in there so that when they land on your skin, they can assimilate into the bloodstream without being detected. Your body's immune system is very powerful. So it can detect when something is coming inside of it that's not supposed to be there. But if it comes inside of your body with a blood cell coating, it's very hard for your body to detect that as an outside pathogen or bacteria. Do you understand? Yeah. So they're very wicked with the way they do this. But the metal that comes into the skin with the blood cells through the chemtrails, that metal is highly magnetic. And those cell towers, as you were talking about, brother, they do send out waves. This is where people are talking about 5G now coming out. They send out waves, and those radio waves react with the metal that's now in your skin. They can now use radio waves and certain energy waves to make you depressed, make you angry.
That's what I've been hearing. Yeah.
Yes, they can control your emotions. None of this stuff is too crazy. This is real stuff. This is psychological warfare. This is biochemical warfare, and they've been doing this for a very long time. I mentioned the gay bomb, right? They know how chemistry works in the body. They know what to do. So yes, brother, that's what
something about those cell towers.
I'm going to tell you a solution about that.
There's about 10 huge 3-inch cables that run up them, and they're each like 10,000 volts. Now our power supply is only 50,000 volts. Why they got 100,000 volts going to these cell towers? Because they said they're bombs also. They can detonate those things.
Oh, I'm pretty sure.
Because electrical explosion is just as deadly as nuclear. You know, so they're weapons.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll do more research on the voltage, but definitely they have ways of weaponizing virtually everything they put in our community. So you're absolutely correct. Now the solution for this, you have to have an alkaline diet as much as you can. Okay, high alkaline, low acidity, fresh fruits as much as you can, alkaline water 8.0 and above, get used to things like that. Eat less processed foods, less fried foods, less cheese, things like that. Do your best to get as much cardio as possible every day, 20, 30 minutes a day, jogging, jump, or whatever. Just sacrifice a little time, get the blood flowing so that your body can always be in tip-top shape. Also, golden seal root. You have to get as much vitamin C crystals, not just vitamin C, ascorbic acid, it's very cheap. Vitamin C crystals. Did you hear what I said? Very strong, vitamin C crystals. You have to get used to taking activated charcoal, which pulls the chemicals out, the toxins. It pulls it out, and it comes out through your feces, your urine, etc.
Do you ingest it? After charcoal, you just ingest it?
Yeah, you just ingest it. Okay. You can ingest it. You can also use it to brush your teeth. Some of you probably heard about that. Yeah. That's very good. You take all of that, chlorella and spirulina. Okay, you have to get it from the proper source, but that is highly anti-radiation. Okay, it helps to also detoxify the body. Black seed oil, you have to get used to using that. There are a lot of vitamins, minerals. You have to have at least, you got to get all those 80 plus minerals. So sea moss. Okay, Dr. Sadie, love our brother. He was also a student of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He said it himself on video. I'm not going to get into nothing. But he studied How to Eat to Live, book 1 and 2. Okay, written by Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and he analyzed that, and then when he went back to his country, he was studying the different plants, etc., to see how he can advance and enhance the things to help the people. What else? What other solutions? Do your best to stay away from fast food. Do your best to get back to cooking at home. Go to the 99-cent store, get some Tupperware containers, and start meal prepping. You understand what I'm saying? Start meal prepping, cooking at home. Take about 30 minutes, whatever, bake whatever you want to eat, and put it together and put them in these containers so that you can eat throughout the week. 1, you'll save money. 2, you know who cooked it. You know you cooked it.
Right.
3 is helping your nutrition, so you know you're getting better. Also, you couple that with exercise, so that's going to enhance the body. Drink at least 1/3 of a gallon of water a day, and I'm being real nice when I say that. Yeah, right, real nice right now. At least 1/3. Why? Because the majority of our body is water, between 78 to 80% water.
It's only 40 ounces of water, that's not much.
Exactly. No, we'll see now. Brothers, our side. Okay. That's different, right? So we can do that. But do it now. Some of you, your question is, what is the best water? Okay. Spring water from most sources is very good. Purified is terrible. You don't want that. Distilled, I wouldn't recommend it. Okay.
Reverse osmosis.
Right. Reverse osmosis, yeah, that's decent. The best is spring alkaline. Some alkaline water is purified. Alkaline water, okay? But you want to get spring water, alkaline water. One of the best brands is Fiji. It's one of the best brands. Some of the worst brands, Dasani. It has so much salt in it that they had to legally put it on the actual label. Ingredients, it's supposed to just say water. When ingredients says water, it says purified water, salt. Damn, that's how much salt they put in there. Okay, that's why you get thirsty.
Aquafina is the same way as the
Aquafina, yeah, that was terrible. It's all terrible. All right? You just got to look at how the schools have Dasani in them, Aquafina in them. They got all those, but they don't have Fiji like that. They don't have those. Exactly. So those are some solutions for that. And I believe we got two more.
I was going to end with you.
And then, hold on 1 second. Sorry, brother. Hold that real quick. This brother, I'm going to make my answers faster.
Okay. So I've been dealing with like a lot of unknown health problems for like the last year, and I have I'm an organ donor as well. So do you think it's dangerous being that I'm part of the #1 target?
Anybody want to answer this question?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let me zoom in on him. Yes.
Do you want to be taken out right now?
At this point, I feel like I'm just being like prodded and poked just to see when it's ready.
You might be.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you know your blood type?
Yeah.
Okay.
They do.
They do too.
I'm a universal giver.
Oh.
I understand. I will hold system.
Everybody.
Wait. If you want to be an organ donor, go to the DMV, remove organ donor from your license. They might try to give you a hard time with it, but they can't legally force you to keep it. Get that removed from your license. If you have your universal giving heart number, take all of your organs, list them, write them, and put them in your will. Okay? You can sign it over to a specific organization if you know one. You can sign it over to the family who you want to manage, and you trust them to know that they'll give it to who needs it. But that's what you want to do. You want to have control over where your organs go when you pass on.
Right.
Okay? Because if you put organ donor, you just donate it to whoever. Anybody. And yeah, they're going to use it for what they want to use it for. I don't even want to tell you how many people are on the list for a heart right now. And how many people have donated. There are far more people on the list that require one than people who can offer it. So they have to strategically target those who fit the bill.
We got 2 more questions, and that's going to be it.
Real quick, brothers, go ahead.
And then maybe y'all can ask after.
Sir,
With
with the attacks that's been going on, Mr. Farrakhan, through the sisters to make Mallory, I listened to Professor Black Truth and Tariq and some other brothers, but Professor Black Truth, he had a kind of disturbing video the past couple of days where he was basically saying people in the black community that we should kind of distance ourselves from, and Roland Martin was one. He also mentioned the list, which kind of broke my heart. And so, not to cause any dissent and not like that, but can you just talk to, because he's kind of a student of Dr. Henry Clark, and so there's a lot of disdain between the brothers that follow Dr. Henry and the nation. I'm just trying to figure out, what we can do to kind of.
Well, one good question, brother, I'm answering very quick. Number 1, anyone who is speaking against Minister Farrakhan, let them. That's them. As long as they don't threaten us. You understand? If you threaten us, okay, that's a different story. If you physically threaten, that's what anybody, right? It's anybody. Somebody threaten you, okay, that's a big difference. Let them talk, because when they need help, they will absolutely come calling. They always do. But that's because we're family. And they don't realize you're not going to be on the enemy's platform and you think you're not being used for the enemy's benefit. You're not going to benefit black people by attacking Minister Farrakhan. That's not how that works. You're not attacking the enemy who controls this whole game and who hates you and Minister Farrakhan, all of us. That's not, and people who think he's an agent and all that, you have to be highly ignorant to believe Minister Farrakhan's an agent. You got to be like so deep in this where it's like, damn, I'll pray for you. Like a Christian, I'll pray for you. Okay, but seriously. So anybody who's talking about that, ask them what are they doing for the black community. And I'll leave it at that. Any student of Dr. John Henry Clark, I love the teaching. However, Dr. John Henry Clark, that's what had some things going on. And that's why Dr. Joseph Ben Yakinen gave his entire library of over 33,000 books to the Nation of Islam, because he knew where it would be safe. So we family, that's my point. There's no division. I don't go with this white man's level of thinking. Y'all my family. I don't care what group you're a part of. That's what we gotta be. We gotta be on code. F the labels, we family. If you got anybody who's still on that divisive crap, slap them with intelligence and get them on code. Does that make sense?
I think Minister Farrakhan knows more about the Bible than most of these so-called Christians.
And brother,
I heard him recite some verses that, I would even,
brother, look up. When I say I ain't, brother, we know. So, brother, don't waste time casting your pearls before swine.
You got a question?
Don't waste time. Just let the brothers peace and then move on and just keep building.
One more. Peace to you, brother.
Brother Rizza, I had already met you and shook hands with you at the Black Conscious
Yes,
Conference back in November. I know you probably remember me.
Yes, sir.
We talked a little bit about this, but we didn't go into depth in this. Okay, so with Jason's, I know everybody in this room is familiar with Jason Black's film Race War. Okay, so I had saw the special edition of it. And in the special edition, Jared Taylor and Richard Spencer, two known white supremacists, they had told TVA, Jason Black, that one of the reasons why white supremacy will not allow, they'll do everything in their power to prevent any organization from building a Black Wall Street. There's 3 reasons what they talked about. They said number 1 is because of genetic annihilation. If there's a Black Wall Street that's built anywhere in the United States, it will increase the genetic annihilation of white people. Because they're already fearing that it's going to be wiped out by the year of 2030. Number 2, they said because they fear that we're going to basically take revenge against them. So if you build any type of Black Wall Street and you have all Black kind of businesses in there, they feel that we're going to take revenge on them. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3, they said that it will prevent any type of Black Wall Street that's built within the United States. It's basically going to block their agenda of building some sort of 5G digital thing, like what they're doing in Estonia right now as we speak. So they said that they were, and they literally told Jason Black this, they said that they will make sure they'll go through hell and hot water that a Black Wall Street will never be built in the United States. They don't care. They will go as far as to kill their own children to make sure that does not happen.
They are serious.
So, and this is very serious. And so anybody that even thinks about doing it, they'll make sure that the feds are on them and the CIA is on them and wipe them out, either jail them or kill them.
So what is your question on that?
So my question to you is, what are your thoughts on that? And what are we up against as a group?
Number 1, we're up against
in terms of that,
a group of people who want to survive. Right? Number 1, I can't fault a person for wanting to survive. However, if your survival depends upon your ability to destroy me, then we have an issue. It means you have to live by me dying. That's a problem. That's actually a problem. The United States is not overpopulated, even though they lie and say it is. There's far more room for white people to live over there if they want to over there, and Black people to live too. But the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that if we cannot get along and live together in peace, then we must separate. Here's my point. We need our own everything. Just like they have their own everything, we need our own everything. What I will not do is call for us to go and fight against these white people who own all of the guns. The same guns who you have in your neighborhoods were the ones allowed to be brought in your neighborhood. They got stuff that shoots around corners. They have grenades that literally only kill melanated people. They use these in Iraq, where they would drop a bomb in a room and it literally is genetic coded. It only kills melanated people and it keeps white people fully intact. I'm not being funny, I'm being very specific. So one, we won't call a war against them, but we will call a defensive retaliation. You're not gonna come up in here, okay? And Richard Spencer, right? And say you're about to go kill these people, we're gonna prevent them. They're not gonna prevent a goddamn thing. They're not, and they know they're not. That's why they're talking like that. They know. So we have to continue building. We have to establish our own everything. The number one way to defeat your enemy is to do well and succeed without him. You have to separate from him. Literally, I'm not arguing with a white man in his system. It's your system. I'm going to make my own. Do you understand? So that is what we have to do. Now, aside from that, everyone in this room needs to know martial arts. You need to. Going towards this question. You need to know some form of self-defense. You have to be taking some type of classes 3 times a week for an hour each day. You need to know boxing. You need to know how to use your legs, your hands. You need to be able to go a couple rounds. You need some wind. You have to be able to do it just in case you need to run for survival, fight for survival, whatever. You need to know how to use weapons, to defuse the weapons if they come at you. You need to know how to handle business. Because this is not a game. If you think that you won't be put in a position to defend yourself, think again. To my brother's very specific and very important point, which I'm glad he brought this up. So anybody like Richard Spencer, it's a bunch of white people who think like him, and they happen to be politicians, they happen to be judges, they happen to be people who are in high powers of authority. And they took the hood off and they put on the suit. Did you hear what I said?
Police uniform.
Police uniform, etc. So they have high positions of authority, but the point is, if we separate into our own and have our own everything, we don't have to worry about that entirely, but we always must be prepared to defend ourselves if the time comes. All right, does that answer your question? Yes.
Yes, all right, so appreciate you all for coming through. Love y'all, thank you all for the support, thank you all for the donations. Thank you all for just being black. Man, just coming here and just hear the powerful information that Brother Rizza Islam just shared. So we definitely appreciate that. Just real quick, once again, that information was to wake you up. That information was to get you inspired about your own life and your own condition so that we can now elevate and move forward as a people.